punch my ass.
I'm only 4. Bonjour, Monsieur Pussycat.
Cracking toast, Robert.
Start spreading the news.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the short podcast about short films. I am your host, and we have another special episode of Big Brother animated short because I love the TV show Big Brother and I love animated shorts. And even though this podcast is not really a thing anymore outside of the yearly updates for whenever there's a new Best Animated Short winner, I I like making fake seasons of Big Brother to play out with. So I have this empty podcast to do that with, and it's just like, sure, let's throw random animated characters into a reality TV game show and see what happens. And the only clarification I'm gonna make is that this is going to be taking place in the same universe as last season. It's like it's going to be a running show. There will be callbacks and things like that. Uh, anyway, I do have a guest with me this time. Please say hello, guest.
Hello, guest.
This is this is of course Christoph, the person who's been guesting on the last 5 or 6 episodes of the show.
Yeah, I am the only guest now.
Yeah, I just haven't bothered like because not only have you called dibs on every single future episode of the Best Animated Short series, but also it's like you're the only person I really want to drag into doing Big Brother Animated Short because you know the characters and I've educated you enough on the show so that you can play along. And last
Yes.
year was so fun.
Last year was so fun, and in the spirit of the Big Brother episode you have recorded for your other podcast, I have
No.
one question to ask now. Is it over yet?
No. Okay. We're just gonna move on from that. There's a lot of
Hello,
mistakes
Gordon,
made.
if you're listening to this.
Gordon's not listening. Gordon
You're
doesn't
probably
care.
not.
Anyway, if you are listening to this and did not listen to the last episode and still want me to explain to you how the game works,
We're gonna
essentially,
say, listen to the last episode first. It's so much fun.
it is so much fun. There are
I
moments.
cannot imagine that this episode they're recording right now will be more fun than this. So just listen to this first.
Yeah, like there
And
are
if I haven't hyped you up enough already, then you can listen to this one.
like I was gonna say, it's like that last episode not only does it have an explainer, but it's like it is such a perfect encapsulation of what I wanted to do with this. It's like it's the only episode of my podcast that I've listened back to, and I've listened back to it multiple times just because I find it so entertaining. And it's just like there are several moments where it's just like if I was watching this as like a regular show, I would be gagged. Like the double eviction. Oh my God. Like, come on. Anyway, but just a basic summary of what the show is. Essentially, it plays out in weeks. For each week, there is a competition called Head of Household, where one person will gain control of the week. And their main power is that they have to put up 2 people who will potentially be evicted. And then there is another competition called the Power of Veto. If somebody wins that, they can remove somebody from the eviction block, one of the 2 people, and then the head of household will replace it with somebody else. And then, with the nominees set at the end of the week, everybody in the all the other house guests that aren't nominated or the head of household will uh will vote on who they want to leave, and then one of them leaves, whoever gets the most votes. And this just kind of continues over and over again until there are 2 people left in the house, and then the last 9 people evicted will vote at the finale as to who wins the season, who played the best. And so now we're going to find out who are the 16 people that will be competing. Any guesses, Christoph, outside of the 2 that you told me to include?
I Are you only including from winning shorts or also from nominated shorts?
I'm including from nominated shorts this year. Like
Oh,
it's too limited to just do ones from winners, so it's like I definitely opened it up. Although some are from a few winners.
okay. I hope Pluto is going to be there because I love Pluto.
Unfortunately, Pluto is not here. But you
But
want to
please
know who?
don't tell me you included Mickey Mouse instead or Minnie.
We'll see.
I
Uh,
mean, if Minnie is there, we have an automatic villain of the season already.
how could she be villainous? She's so boring.
She's vapid.
Anyway, so the first two house guests I have are technically returning players, but then again, they didn't actually get to play the game. First, we have Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. Uh, Last season, he was a potential house guest in the battle back of that season, but he lost the competition. He's a kind and genuine presence, perhaps a bit smarter than the others will give him credit for. Great inventor, though a bit absent-minded at times, and far too trusting. And next, we have the other loser from last season, Tigger, from the Winnie the Pooh franchise, of course. Boundless and carefree, intensely competitive, but lacking in competitive ability. Too loud and brash to be trusted with any secrets, and so impulsive. And then for the completely new house guests, first we have Clark Kent from the Superman series of
Ooh.
shorts. Just a mild-mannered news reporter from Metropolis, happy for the chance to be here. He intentionally is trying to downplay any physical attributes or perhaps anything secret he might be hiding, but who knows what that might be. Uh, then we have John Lennon from I Met the Walrus, our first real person we have on here. Is he the only one? Yes, he is the only real person we have on this show. On this season at least.
So are you saying Clark Kent isn't real?
I am unfortunately saying that Clark Kent is not a real human being from the real world.
Okay.
Uh, and of course, he is from the short I Met the Walrus and has also inspired the short War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. Or I'm sorry, War is Over, inspired by the music of John Yoko. There you
I
go.
was just about to correct you.
Uh, Peaceful and unbothered on the outside, but manipulative and ambitious on the inside. He's just an average guy, like physically, but when you're up against cartoon characters, that can sometimes be an incredible advantage. Next, we have Zonker Harris from a Doonesbury special. Chillest dude of all time. Not going to be competitive threat in the slightest, but he's going to get people to like him, or at least unless they find the stench of weed annoying. Um, After that, we have the big bad wolf from various films. A misunderstood character. While he's a physical threat, he is not threatening. He only goes after people who have wronged him, and he is loyal to those who do right by him. Next, we have a bit in intentional casting to try and stir up drama. We also have Red Riding Hood from Revolting Rhymes. Her story is one of tragedy and will not let tragedy define her any longer. She looks after those who are victims and fights against those who oppress. She's a capable fighter and has a good strategic mind on her shoulders too, but is likely to be a big target due to how capable she is. Next, we have the Squiggle from The Dot and the Line, a romance in lower
Woo!
mathematics. This is one that Christoph had asked me to place on the show. Wild and unkempt, has nothing on his mind at all, so uninhibited and full of joy, but also nothing but anarchy and slow. As meaningless as a melon. Let's see how this goes. Uh, Most of that description was taken directly from the short because I have no idea how the Squiggle is going to play out. I don't know how to really judge him, but Christoph convinced me to just put him in anyway, and
And
we'll
see what happens.
we'll wing it. We'll see what happens with him. And next, unfortunately, Christoph, I do have Mickey Mouse from the Mickey Mouse franchise. Happy-go-lucky
Better
character,
than Minnie Mouse.
a bit of a rascal at times, but he always tries his best. Uh, Next, we have Frankie from Rudy Toot Toot. Will do anything to win, will backstab anybody, cannot be trusted, but knows how to turn on the charm. And then we have Maggie Simpson from The Longest Daycare. She is a baby,
Wow! Love
but
her.
but she's probably the world's most clever and capable baby, but she's still a baby. And then you're gonna like this pick, Christoph. We have Mary from Wander to Wonder. While scared of all the people who are much bigger than she is, she intends to take on these challenges with all her might. She attaches to people easily and gets hurt easily, but she also might be a little unhinged. After this,
Yeah.
we have Beryl from the Beryl series of shorts, or specifically Affairs of the Art. Bold and brash personality, incredibly creative, incredibly self-assured, not a person who's easily manipulated because she's just going to do whatever she wants. Next, we have the mother from Bao. Incredibly caring, though perhaps overprotective and a little bit manipulative. If things don't go her way, she might do something drastic. Next, we have Jerry from Jerry's Game. While he is an incredibly old man who can't handle many physical competitions, he is smarter than he seems, an expert strategist, and with a kind, humorous persona to keep people from disliking him. Next, we have Peter from Peter and the Wolf. A bit of a loner, finds it hard to trust many people. He's in it to win it and won't let anyone get in his way. And those are the 16 house guests. And Christoph, you might be thinking there's somebody you wanted in there who is not in there yet. Uh, we'll wait and see. But
I have complete trust in you.
So, what do you think of our 16 house guests? Wallace, Tigger, Clark, John, Zonker, Wolf, Red, Squiggle, Mickey, Frankie, Maggie, Mary, Beryl, Mother, Jerry, and Peter.
They are an interesting set of house guests. I'm not super familiar from memory with absolutely all of them, but I'm going to trust you that maybe if I am not entirely sure how Beryl might actually work in a specific situation, that you might help me out a little bit with that. But mostly, there's some dynamics I would love to see. I mean, how the Big Bad Wolf and Red Riding Hood are going to work together, whether they will establish a certain core of trust, or if Red Riding Hood will never be able to trust the Big Bad Wolf, will be an interesting thing to see play out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll say now that I believe that everybody is going to kind of know the history between Wolf or the Big Bad Wolf and Red Riding Hood. Like that's just something that is going to be an open secret.
It's a Coco and Alyssa situation.
Mm-hmm.
You have to trust me on that as someone who doesn't know Drag Race.
I do not know Drag Race, but I will trust you. Anyway, so let's get into the game. But actually first, let's look at these house guests. They come into the house, and who do you think have you written down all the names?
I have written down all the names, yes.
Okay. Who do you think is going to gravitate towards each other? Like who are the immediate pairings?
I immediately see the mother from Bao and Red Riding Hood gravitating towards each other.
Interesting. What makes you say that?
I don't know. Maybe the mother is gonna be a replacement grandmother for Red Riding Hood because she's such a caring person.
You know, like when I've done my imaginary run-throughs, I completely forgot about Red Riding Hood's grandmother. That is a really interesting thing. I really do like that. Uh, something.
I
Go
also
ahead.
see John Lennon and the Big Bad Wolf finding common ground.
Definitely. Like that is one that I have always thought the wolf is going to be somebody who looks for more powerful kind of people. Well, and it's I think he's going to look towards John, and it's even though he's not the biggest physically, I think he is going to bond with him. And I think also Big Bad Wolf is going to try and join pick up Clark Kent over to his side. While does look to be a bit more meek, I do think that that they're still going to bond. They're still going to he still sees him as a big person, so it's yeah, let's get him on our side. We don't know how good he is physically, but let's make this bond now before he goes with somebody else.
There might also be a shared bond of mistrust against the Big Bad Wolf between Red Riding Hood and Peter from Peter and the Wolf.
Interesting. Yeah, we could definitely put Peter and Red together. Like so Peter, Red, and Mother from Bow all in a little trio, and then Wolf, John Lennon, and Clark Kent all together.
I
Uh,
like I also see Maggie Simpson as a floater because she will just crawl towards people and they will have no distrust of her at all because we know that Maggie Simpson is incredibly sly and clever, but no one who's actually in contact with her is realizing that.
but you know who I do think she will go towards? She's gonna go
Tigger.
towards Tigger, yeah, because like she is still a baby, she still enjoys her stuffed animals, and not only that, I think it is also a good strategic move because Tigger is gonna be a lot more center of attention. He's gonna draw a lot of focus towards him, and it's gonna be a big shield for her down the line.
Maybe if there's one, I'm looking at these characters. If there's one of them who might be able to recognize the intelligence of Maggie, it's probably Jerry from Jerry's Game.
Yes, I don't think I think Jerry is also going to be one who is tries to kind of stay on his own, but also
Yeah,
be
he he
getting good
he
with everybody. But
he
I think
tries to stay out of the drama, but he's very observant, and he probably will get a good grip on who everyone really is fairly intuitively.
and I'm trying to think who else is going to bond together. I feel like Zonk. I don't. I want Zonker to get close to somebody, but at the same time, I feel like he's just kind of chill. Like he's not gonna actively make a connection, but he'll get close to anyone who would go towards him. Like maybe him and Squiggle actually.
Yeah, I just wanted to suggest I could see them be a great mismatched couple. Not couple as couple, but
Yeah, two
pair.
best friends.
Yeah.
Um, Beryl is gonna be just kind of out and about. Frankie's gonna try and flirt. Frankie, who is Frankie gonna flirt with? There's not many eligible bachelors here. Like
Yeah.
I don't I
Wallace, but Wallace will not even notice that Frankie is flirting with him.
although
But Clark Kent, in the eyes of Frankie, Clark Kent is probably uh, someone who would be really an object of affection.
maybe she just kind of floats around that Wolf, Clark, and John trio, and it's just like she kind of flirts with all of them to make sure that all of them like kind of view her as their number one ally, even with the Lions. But we'll put her with them. And Mickey, let's just put Mickey and Wallace together. Not really sure if there's any reasoning there, but I just want them to have a pair.
Okay.
And Mary's on
Although,
her own. Nobody
although
knows that she's there.
I also could see Wallace and Jerry becoming friends.
Wallace and Jerry. Okay. I think Jerry like is specifically gonna like keep on his own. Like he might like later than the line they might like form a pairing, but I think just to start off with, he wants to just sit back, see where the dynamics are falling, and see what's gonna be best for him. Like he's playing this like chess. He wants to just make small moves to try and like get in the playing field, but just not too big. Anyway, I think this is a good baseline. Like we have the four people, Wolf, John, Clark, Frankie. We have a trio with Peter, Red, and Mother, and a few sparse pairs, Maggie and Tigger, Squiggle and Zonker. And we will head into our first HOH competition called Flowers and Trees and Jamaica Daddy. The house guests are told in advance that the winner of the competition will become the new HOH, and the last place house guest will become the Jamaica Daddy, with no explanation as to what that means. The competition itself is simple. House guests are each holding onto a vine, and the last one to let go wins. Or and the first one to let go is the Jamaica Daddy. So, first things first, is anybody going to just immediately let go in order to become the Jamaica Daddy, whatever that is? My
Well,
first thought is either
uh,
Squiggle or Tigger.
yeah, Tigger. I would even say Tigger. I don't see Tigger holding on for long. Tigger is gonna be curious what it means, and then Tigger is gonna scratch his head with the hand he's supposed to be holding, and then it's just falling down.
Mhm. All right. And then who do we think is going to be holding on the longest? And we can even just kind of think like who definitely falls? Like Beryl, Squiggle, Zonker, Jerry, Mary, even like Mickey, Wallet, like so many of these
Yeah,
people are not going to be holding on for long. I think the main competitors are going to be Red, Frankie, Wolf, and maybe John. I think
all Maggie Simpson babies can grip for a while, I would say.
I mean, she has very small hands.
That is true, but she's also not very heavy. Also, the question is, I mean, Clark Kent is downplaying his physical attributes, so I could see him holding easily for a while and then realizing, oh, I don't want these people see my game too early and then just let go intentionally.
Exactly. I always viewed him as throwing this one. And I think Maggie also doesn't want the spotlight on her too early because again, she's trying to keep up this persona of just
Yeah.
being a dumb baby. But yeah, so between Wolf, Frankie, John, and Red, who do we think is going to have that endurance, that drive, and also just the pure strength to stay on that vine?
I think it's gonna be Wolf.
All right. I will put in Wolf as the winner. All right. And so now the HOH and the Jamaica Daddy will do a kind of schoolyard pick as to form two teams. So between Wolf and Tigger, and Wolf gets to pick first because he won HOH. So I think, of course, he's going to pick like Clark for his first pick.
Yeah.
Tigger is probably going to
Maggie.
pick Maggie, of course. Wolf is going to pick John.
Yes.
Tigger, it's going to get interesting because how is he thinking about this? Does he just pick like he's just going to pick the people he likes. He's not going to be thinking at all strategically
Yeah.
about what this could mean. He just picks probably Mickey. Mickey feels
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Wolf, he's going to be he I think Wolf is thinking it's like the two sides are going to compete against each other in something. So he's trying to pick out like best competitors, but is still probably going to pick Frankie because we established that they're a quad.
Yeah. And Frankie is also a competitor.
Exactly. Tigger is going to pick
Squiggle, maybe, because Chaos likes chaos.
yeah, Squiggle, and then Wolf. I don't think he's going to pick Red. I think he wants to I think he is intentionally going to leave her out. So maybe he picks maybe Wallace or Zonker.
I don't see Wolf picking Zonka
Maybe Wallace
because
then.
yeah, probably Wallace because Wallace is intelligent. I mean, so is Jerry, but I think Wallace is more obviously intelligent at first
Jerry
glance.
is a decrepit old man. Wolf isn't picking
Yeah.
him. Wolf would pick Beryl before Jerry. Tigger is gonna pick. I think he see like we have not mentioned Mary at all once so far. Um, I think Tigger sees Mary and brings her in, and she reminds him of Piglet.
That's true, yes.
Wolf between Peter, Red, Mother, Jerry, Zonker, and Beryl. Maybe Z- I'm thinking Beryl or Zonker.
Yeah, I mean, he's not picking Rat, he's not picking Peter.
Uh, yeah, and probably isn't picking Mother. I'm thinking Zonker,
Yes.
and then Tigger picks Peter because he reminds him of Christopher Robin because he's a child.
Yeah, yeah, Tigger is basically picking himself Winnie the Pooh characters.
Exactly, exactly. Wolf, I guess, picks Beryl at this point.
Yeah.
Tigger picks between Red, Mother, and Jerry. It's getting tough.
Yeah.
I think I think I'm in two minds about this. I think Tigger alone would pick Jerry, but I think maybe his like the people he's picked could like lean over and say like, "Hey, pick Red."
Yeah.
I think he picks out Red, and I think
Yeah.
who does Wolf pick between Mother and Jerry? I think Mother because
Mother.
yeah, and then Jerry goes over to the Jamaica Daddy side. Okay, so you ready to find out what this means? So the HOH's team will be living inside of the house for the week. The Jamaica Daddy's team will be living outside in the backyard. Independently, with no contact with each other, there will be two simultaneous weeks of Big Brother. The HOH and the Jamaica Daddy will both pick two nominees. There will be two veto winners, and there will be two house guests evicted when the week is up. So it's a big,
Interesting.
big twist.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get these sides placed where they go. All right, and just to recap, on outside we have Tigger, Maggie, Mickey, Squiggle, Mary, Peter, Red, and Jerry. Wolf has Clark, John, Frankie, Wallace, Zonker, Beryl, and Mother. All right, so now we go to strategy. Who, like, we need to, so let's start with the HOH side. We, of course,
Yeah.
already have the Clark, John, Wolf, and Frankie alliance, and they are essentially trying to decide which of the outsiders they're going to get rid of. I do not know which, like, part of me is thinking, like, maybe Beryl and Mother, because those were just the two picked last.
Yeah.
I,
I, I mean,
yeah, it's like, I feel like it's just going to be as simple as that. Just those are the two that they feel the least connected with, and so they go up.
but wouldn't they maybe put up Wallace because they could see Wallace as a threat because he's intelligent?
Maybe.
I mean, they don't care about Zonky either way.
Yeah, Zonker is just chilling out. And honestly, I feel like like some of them might like Zonker's vibes, especially John Lennon. And so maybe Zonker just gets a free ride, but it's like, yeah, it's gonna be Beryl Mother or Wallace going home. And like I think I will still have Beryl and Mother go up first, but then
Yeah.
Wallace, he can be put up if the veto is used, if they want to use the veto.
Okay, agreed.
And then for the outsiders, the Jamaica Daddy side, uh so Tigger got close to Maggie. How, this is always the hardest part of doing this is like
Yeah.
how do you think about Tigger trying to pick
Yeah.
nominees?
Oh,
It's the same
Tigger is not strategic.
like but what does Tigger think about this? Like I feel like he has a better grasp on the game than Winnie the Pooh. Like at the very
Yeah.
least he understands there is a game being played and he should like we are going to be getting rid of people, but he also he's friends with everybody. He doesn't want to get rid of anybody. But
Mm.
so maybe Maggie could try to like
Maggie is
see him.
making the actual decisions here. I think Maggie manages a way to nudge Tigger to pick people.
But what does Maggie want? Like
I
what is
think
Maggie
I
thinking?
think Maggie knows that Red is a threat, so Maggie might be somehow nudging Tigger to put up Red.
So there's two ways to think about this. When there's a threat, you can either A, try and get them out immediately. or B, align with them and ride them to get yourself further in the game. Like when they win comps, you're safe. And but then it's like once you get a few weeks down the line, you cut them when they inevitably lose the competitions that they need to win and cut them off easily. So it's like it does like does her seeing Red as easily the biggest competitor in this group mean she wants to get rid of her or she wants to align with her?
I mean, maybe she can have her cake and eat it too, because Red, maybe Red doesn't really know that it's Maggie's influence that will put her on the spot.
Ooh, maybe she like has Tigger put her up, but then it's like, hey, I'm
But
so
then she's crawling towards Red to comfort her.
yeah, and it's just like and like she communicates telepathically or through the pacifier sucks.
Yeah,
It's just like, hey, I'm so sorry this happened. It's like he just picked impulsively. He just hates the
yeah,
color red.
yeah.
And then Tigger put up next to her. Maybe or who does Maggie, I guess, put up next to her? Maybe
Yeah.
Peter, because maybe she sees that they kind of bonded together a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, put up Red and Peter. All right. So Red and Peter and Beryl and Mother are our nominees. And now I'm gonna quickly just pick the veto players. All right, so for the outsiders, we have or for the insiders, the HOH group, we have John Lennon, we have Wallace, and we have uh Mother gets to pick one of the people, Frankie, Clark, or Zonker. Um, hmm. I think she I think she has enough strategic mind where it's like she's gonna pick somebody who she doesn't think can win in order to increase her own chances. So I think she picks Zonker.
Okay.
And then for the insiders, Tigger gets to pick who's somebody. He picks Maggie. Then we have Mary playing, and then we have Squiggle playing. All right. And now for the veto competition. The competition is Crazy Mixed Up Pup. Last season's winner, Mr. Magoo, returns to the house to host this veto competition, all about not being able to see what's in front of you. The house guests are blindfolded and have to make their way through an obstacle course. Fastest wins. Very simple competition. Who can navigate through a competition quickly and easily, or navigate through a course quickly while
Yeah.
blindfolded?
I mean, it's a shame Mickey isn't here because rats are good at this kind of thing.
um, part of so something I did not think about that might have a big impact on this is is this in like an open space or a closed space? Because if it's an open space, Tigger just bounces around randomly until he hits the end. And I think that might be more effective than people like trying to carefully navigate their way.
That
But
is true.
but otherwise, I think either Red or maybe even Squiggle could get through this because he's Squiggle can easily like make himself more narrow to get through a lot of these tougher obstacles. Unless it's like,
Yeah. I think it's either Tigger or Squiggle for those two reasonings you gave.
I think, well, I think I'll give it to Squiggle. I'll give him that veto win. And then, bum. All right. And for the insiders, Wolf, Beryl, Mother, John, Wallace, and Zonker. Uh, John? John Lennon?
I'm more inclined to say Wolf, actually.
part of me thinks that like his size might be a hindrance,
That's true.
but then again, it's like
Okay, let's go with John.
let's go with John Lennon. Okay. So Squiggle and John are our veto winners. Do either of them want to change the nominations? John, no. He is working with Wolf. Squiggle, eh, I don't think he's that close with Red or Peter, but
Yeah. I mean, Squiggle is an agent of chaos, but I think probably Squiggle enjoys the chaos of Red and Peter being up more than saving anyone. I don't see Squiggle saving Red.
mhm.
If
Yeah.
if if Squiggle's gonna save, he's gonna save Peter, but I'm not sure he's willing to do that.
I think the veto just is not used.
Yeah.
All right. So that means it's time for the eviction. Let me just move everybody back to their sides. And so we'll start with the insiders, Wolf's group. Between Beryl and Mother, who are they evicting? So who does Wolf want evicted? Probably Beryl because she's
Yeah.
just bigger and louder and brasher and just kind of annoying.
And I mean, Wolf doesn't see a threat in Mother. Uh,
Exactly.
so I think Wolf's block is solidly voting Beryl out.
hmm And then Wallace and Zonker, do they vote for Mother? Or do they just kind of, or are they just kind of told like, "Hey, we're voting out Beryl," and just kind of go with that flow?
I think Wallace likes Mother, so Wallace isn't voting Mother out.
I'll go with that. 4-1 vote to evict Beryl and making her our first evicted house guest. And then for the outsiders, between Red and Peter, Maggie. Maggie votes out Peter because, like we said, she wants to work with Red. Even though she is a bigger threat, she wants that shield. She wants
Yeah.
that competitor on her side. But then we have Mary, Mickey, Squiggle, and Jerry. Squiggle probably votes out Red.
Yes.
Mickey, Mary, and Jerry.
I think I think Mickey likes to think of himself as a good guy, and Mickey doesn't think it's fair to vote out Red so early, so Mickey is gonna vote Peter.
Interesting. I'll go with it. Um, Mary and Jerry. Jerry, I think, is probably thinking a bit strategically, and it's like he's not thinking of working with Red. He's thinking of get out the strong players first so that there's a better chance for everybody else to get those wins. And Mary, honestly, I think Mary just likes the female players more and might vote out Peter, even though he's
Yes.
a child. So
Yes.
I think in a 3-2 vote, Peter has also been evicted.
That sounds right.
All right, let me just write these down. 3-2, Peter. All right. So now Split House is done. Everybody's competing for the next HOH competition together. However, both Tigger and Wolf are ineligible to compete. So, our second HOH competition is Rhythm in the Ranks. The house guests are asked a series of personal questions about themselves. However, they aren't just answering with their own preference, they're trying to answer with the majority. With each question, every player who picked the less popular option will be eliminated. If there's a tie, no one is eliminated. And after 6 questions, there will be a tiebreaker to determine the new HOH, or if it gets down to just 2 people. And so this is one of the few ones that I do think a random element does help out the competition. And so I have, I'm loading up 12 different coins, and whichever has the most of heads or tails, that's going to be the majority. And then everybody who did all the people assigned the tails coins will be eliminated. Sound
Okay,
good? Okay.
fine with me.
All right, let me just arrange these. Okay. So for the first question, we have a tie. It was 6-6. For the second question, it was 7-5. So Squiggle is eliminated. Maggie is eliminated. John Lennon has been eliminated. And uh, Mary has been eliminated. Zonker has been eliminated. All right, round two with 7 people. Ba-ba-bum. All right. Or I guess this is technically round three, but everybody answered the same. Great. All right.
Sounds
But
very random to me.
it is random. Like that's just how randomness
Yeah,
goes. But then
yeah.
5 people answered the same. 2 people got it wrong, or quote unquote wrong. Jerry has been eliminated. Clark Kent has been eliminated. And then down to 5 people. 3 people answered the same, 2 people didn't. Wallace has been eliminated, and Mother has been eliminated. Our final three is Red, Mickey, and Frankie. And all three answered the same. All right, Frankie has been eliminated. We're down to our final two. And the way I do tiebreakers here is I have 2d20s, and whoever gets closest to 15 without going over is the winner. So, between Red and Mickey, both of them went over, but Red was closer to 15, so she is our new head of household.
Ooh.
Maggie made a great choice by getting
Yeah,
close with her,
yeah,
and also Tigger.
yeah.
Technically, oh, actually, we said that Tigger wasn't really because Red might be
I
a little
mean,
bitter about Tigger, but also
Tigger put her up in the first place. Now, the interesting question is, was the first week already enough to basically make two groups where one is out to pick someone who was in the other group originally? Or does Red want to have her revenge against Tigger? Or maybe she recognizes that Tigger is deep down a kind character and it would be wrong to put out her vengeance on him and would rather. I mean, Red puts up Wolf. That's no question.
I
Who else is she putting up?
I do think she puts up Tigger just as an act of fairness. But at the same time, uh, she's not targeting Tigger. It's just more like, you give one to me, I give it back to you. It's like you put me on the block, I'm gonna put you on the block, but you didn't send me home, so I won't send you home. But really, there's one thing I did not mention. Uh, After the HOH competition, as the house guests go back into the house, they have an issue with the toilet. A plumber comes in to fix it, and when he finishes, as he tries to leave, he finds he is not able to. He is now a
Woohoo!
house guest. This is the toilet man from Tango. Kristoff really wanted a person from Tango in here, and the toilet man is maybe my favorite one, and your favorite one, I think.
He's our favorite one. And he's really just the plumber, and he actually wants to get out. But whenever he leaves, he just suddenly finds himself entering the house again.
It's it's a vi- there's something so funny to me about having a house guest who simply does not want to be there.
Yeah, and who just entered the house because it was his job to do it.
hmm But it's like now he's stuck here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Wolf, Clark, John, Frankie, who? what were our other alliances? Squiggle was aligned with Jerry, right? And Zonker was with Wallace. And everybody else was kind of a lone wolf outside of Red, Maggie, Tigger. But we got that sorted already.
Yeah.
Um, is anybody else going to try and make a play to like join up with anybody? Like, is anybody going to try and peel to Red to try and get in good with her? Maybe form a major alliance or something like that, or maybe even go for one of the stragglers, like any of these loose pairs joining up. Maybe Mary, Mother, Mickey, or even Toilet Man. Like, is
Yeah.
anybody going to try and form something?
Again, I think Mickey might be attracted to the tough guy alliance between Wolf and Clark and John.
I do think he would get along swimmingly with Clark Kent. Like he's a very old-fashioned guy. He
Yeah,
probably is a fan of that like and he's also a very like happy-go-lucky kind of guy, very
yeah.
optimistic, very trusting. I
And
think
John
they
doesn't like Mickey, but just to appease Clark, John would be willing to accept Mickey tagging along with him.
Mhm. But at the same time he's still a bit wary and might like be like, "Hey, we need to get rid of Mickey. We need to cut him off." And it's like that's gonna be Mickey's basically gonna be the Yoko of this group.
Yeah. But does this make John the Paul of this group?
Uh,
Because
this
if
make
Mickey is the Yoko, Clark is the John.
yeah, and then that makes Wolf the George and Frankie is Ringo.
Let's say John is Ringo.
Yeah, John is Ringo. Anyway, I think Jerry is still enjoying his little corner with Squiggle here. He sees that he's not really in the spotlight at all, but when he I think when he needs to, he's going to turn it on and make those bonds that need to be made in order to save his
Yeah.
skin.
And
Uh
Squiggle is best buddies with Zonka. We had established that.
oh, I thought it was Zonker and Wallace. Who is Wallace good with? Wallace was good with somebody.
Is he?
Was it with Mickey? I can't believe we already forgot this.
Wasn't uh, Mother?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just,
Oh, Red
just
was
like
good with
Wallace.
Mother.
Yeah,
Red was good
Red
with
was
Mother
good with
because
Mother.
he reminded
Sh-
him of or reminded her of her grandmother. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, and and Red took a liking to to Maggie.
Yeah. Okay. So Red, Maggie, Mother is a trio. Maggie's close to Tigger. Got it. Okay. Sorry if anybody's listening. We I I have a little like movable board thing where it's like I'm trying to keep track of everybody here, but it's like I'm also moving people around for like the veto players and like for the competition, and so it's like it's hard to keep people in their alliances. Anyway, but yeah. Uh, veto players. We said Wolf and Tigger were nominees. Now we need to pick players for the veto competition. And there are 14 people in the house. Wait, no, 15 because Toilet Man just got added.
Yeah,
Uh, Red gets house guest choice. Does she pick Maggie or Mother? Or yeah, that was it.
Maggie. She
Okay,
picks Maggie.
she picks Maggie. Um, Next player picked is Zonker. And then Squiggle is also picked. All right. Those are our six veto players. Red, Wolf, Tigger, Mackie, Zunker, Squiggle. Uh, I think everybody except Wolf and Tigger is just trying to keep these noms the same. All right. Our competition is Affairs of the Art. The house guests have to paint a canvas using only their body. When the time starts, they will dunk themselves into a bath full of paint, attach themselves to a rope that will swing them into the canvas. First to completely cover the canvas in paint wins. Uh, and just a note, the canvas is going to scale with the size of the player, like with their height, right? And so it's like Maggie isn't going to have to like cover the same canvas as Wolf is. It's going to be just balanced a little bit. But at the same time, I think this is Wolf's comp. I think
Are
not
you
only
sure this isn't Squiggle's comp?
I think Wolf's fur is going to hold a lot of paint in it, and it's going to make it a lot easier to get that paint on that
Yeah.
canvas.
I mean that's true. Wolf is basically a paintbrush.
Although Tigger is also going to get soaked with paint.
Yeah, but Tigger is just jumping on the canvas from point to point to
But
point.
but also like he doesn't have to like hook himself up to the rope or anything. He just jumps over, slams into the canvas, and jumps back. Like maybe like production, it's like would they think that's cheating? Maybe like or it's like but I mean he's just going to the canvas in a more efficient way.
Yeah,
But it's like other people could try jumping to the canvas. It's just it's not ideal for them because they're not as good as jumping as he is. So it actually might be Tigger.
yeah.
Oh my God, he almost won the first veto, but wins the second one. And it is able to take himself off the block.
And
Oh, right.
Red is maybe a bit relieved that it's Tigger because she nominated Tigger as a quid pro quo, but I don't think Red really wants to see Tigger gone.
Yeah, she's getting a liking towards Tigger.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for replacement nominee? Hey, like
I th
does she see the Clark John Frankie alliance, or is she more just kind of laser focused in on Wolf being the villain and doesn't really see
sh
the alliances yet?
she sees who Wolf's friends are. I mean, they hang around together.
Mhm.
The question is she more focused on John or on Clark? I don't think she will put Frankie on the line.
And there's also the idea that she puts somebody that is so not a threat, somebody that is like not going to really receive any votes just to try and ensure Wolf gets out, like putting up Jerry or Mary, like somebody who's going to stay likely no matter what.
I mean, she could do that, or she could put up a friend of Wolf to weaken his alliance, even if it doesn't get voted out.
Exactly. Um, I think she might put up John. I think he's probably the less likable one of them.
Yeah.
And probably just I feel like Clark is going to be somebody who gets along with most everybody. Meanwhile,
Yes.
John, like he can be kind of annoying even when he's not openly a dickhead. Like he's
Well, on the
still
other hand, that would mean if she puts up Clark, there's a bigger chance that people are actually going to vote Wolf out. Whereas if she puts up John, they might just vote out John because
true.
he's annoying.
Clark could be best of both worlds, where it's like somebody that people don't want to vote out, but at the same time somebody that if voted out would still hurt that alliance. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go with Clark. So yeah. Um, all right. Final nominees are Wolf and Clark, who is getting evicted. So first off, easy ones. Uh, actually, not so easy. Let's start with this alliance because Mickey, of course, is voting out Wolf,
Yes.
but John and Frankie, I think they might vote out Clark. I think they view Wolf as a better asset.
Yes.
All right, but then is everybody else voting out Wolf, or is some people voting out Clark?
I think I think most people are a bit scared of Wolf, so they are just happy that he's an energy that's out of the room. So
Yeah.
I don't really see anyone voting out Clark if they can vote out Wolf.
All right. So that's going to be a 10 to 2 vote, assuming everybody, including Toilet Man, votes out Wolf. So 10 to 2 for Wolf. Too big, too obvious of a threat. So it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, but Mickey, Clark, John, and Frankie are still together. All right. And now we can move on to week 3 and our next HOH competition, Guard Dog. The night before, the house guests were kept awake by audio of dog barking and the owner giving different reasons as to why he was barking. House guests are then asked a series of true or false questions about the audios. If you get the question wrong, you are eliminated. Last house guest standing wins. So this is not one I will do randomly, but this is something about memory. So first of all, who's going to even be trying to win this? And then secondly, who's going to be better at remembering the intimate details? My immediate thought is that Jerry would do well at this, but also I think he's also might not be trying to win this.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, maybe Jerry is a little bit hard of hearing, so just Jerry just slept through it all and didn't wasn't kept awake as the only contestant.
Mhm. And I think Clark might have an advantage in this because he is a reporter. He's always
Hmm.
thinking about details.
I think
Um,
Mickey Mouse might do well at this.
what makes you say that?
Just my intuition.
Yeah, and like,
Mickey Mouse is a keen guy,
all right.
and I could
Uh,
picture Mickey Mouse having a good memory.
I'll defer to you. I do think it's funny to have Mickey Mouse win HOH, so I will allow that. Uh, all right, let's put all these. So Mickey wins HOH. Congratulations to him. It's the first thing he's done in his entire life. Who is he targeting? And I think the obvious answer is probably Red.
Yes.
Like Red is already a physical threat, and then she also won HOH and is now going to be in danger again. And
Yeah.
already she was in danger week 1. Now she's in danger week 3.
Now here's the thing. John doesn't like Mickey Mouse, but but he sees that he can probably influence Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse wants to be attached to him, even although Wolf is gone. So uh, John is gonna advise Mickey Mouse to put up someone like Mother Jerry against Red because John wants to get Red out.
You know what I think? I
Yes.
think John still doesn't like Mickey and might advise him to do something that's kind of bad for his game. I part part of me thinks it's like I don't really see anybody who's going to be a clear competitive threat, or at least not like outwardly a competitive threat. But it's like if John convinces Mickey to put up somebody who could easily win an HOH, and they would feel vengeance against Mickey because he's the one who like put them on the block, put them in danger, or even they put up like Red and let's say Wallace. John
Yeah.
then goes behind Mickey's back to convince people to flip the vote so that Red stays and whoever's up next to her goes. In just so that Red can instead, when Red wins HOH again, likely, she goes after Mickey instead.
That sounds good.
All right, so let's put up, but it's the question is, who does John want Mickey to put up? Who's somebody that John isn't liking very much? Tigger maybe. Um, Mary maybe.
Yeah, I think mm,
Maybe even Mother.
I'm a bit dry. I think John finds. Well, does John find Mary annoying, or does Mary maybe remind John of Yoko?
She
I mean,
she's not artistic enough to be Yoko. She's not in she's just insane. She's just an insane woman.
yeah, and that's why
And
she.
too motherly as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Mary is a good pick for
Yeah.
John's uh vote reversal target. All right. So now we do the veto players. 14 people in the house. First up, Mother has been picked for veto. Red gets to pick somebody of her choice. She could pick Maggie or Tigger or somebody she thinks she can beat. Or maybe she would pick Maggie because one, she thinks she can
Yes.
beat her. Two, uh, if she does win, she would use it on her. All right. Next we have Toilet Man has been picked for veto. All right. Mickey, Red, Mary, Mother, Maggie, Toilet Man are all competing in our veto competition, which is the Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore. The house guests are in a wind tunnel wearing a Velcro suit with lots of small books with a letter on the cover flying around. That, of course, like get attached to the suit if they hit it. Uh, and they're in the wind tunnel for 1 minute to get as many books stuck to their suit as they can, and then they have another minute to get the books off and assemble a word using the random letters that are on those books. And longest word wins. Longest correctly spelled word wins, I should say.
Okay. So it helps to size is helping because then more
Size
books are
is helping.
sticking to them, but also intelligence is helping.
Exactly. Like in similar competitions like this in the regular show, it's like oftentimes while you have a lot of people who get set on making one word, but then don't have the letters. And you have some people who make up a word. Like the most infamous moment is somebody who tried to make the word technotronics but could not get all the letters for that made up word. Heard and so just wrote out Tektronics, which again is not a word. But if he just took out the R in that word, he would have made the word tectonics. But he's so dumb he does not realize that's a word, and so he lost. Anyway, so Red is going to be good at spelling.
Yes.
Mary is going to be good at spelling, but does not have the body space to get enough letters on her.
Yeah.
Mother, again, is a small woman, but then again, I think she would probably be good enough at this. Maggie would be good at this as well, although she is small and also slow. Probably might not be able to get the letters off of her in time. And Toilet Man is not trying.
Yes.
So is this a kind of default win for Red?
Yes. This should be red.
All right. Red is able to take herself off the block, which, helps John's plan.
Very much so.
And then, but now it's about who's going to go up next to Mary. Like this is not something Mickey or the Alliance really planned for at all.
Yeah.
Um, Part of me thinks maybe Toilet Man just because he's kind of a non-presence like Mary was. And
Yeah.
so,
But
but
Didn't we say that John kind of wants Mary out? So he
Yeah.
probably wouldn't advise Mickey to put someone up who would probably be voted out just because he wants out,
hmm Yeah. So maybe somebody,
like Mother.
maybe Mother, maybe Zonker.
Oh, Zonka, that's good. I don't think. Yes, Zonka is good because I don't think anyone's gonna. Maybe some people are gonna vote out. No, Zonka is so chill. Why would anyone vote out Zonka if there's Mary here who's slightly annoying?
Yeah,
But
slightly annoying, and nobody's aligned with her at all. I
yeah,
think I think this is a very easy, unanimous vote even for
yeah.
Mary. It is now week 4, and our new HOH comp is called the Flying Sailor. The house guests each have a tiny sailor doll. One by one, they will walk up to a slingshot and fling their sailor at a field of different squares with various number values in them. Highest number wins. This is going to be another randomized one, but I promise you this is going to be the last random competition we have until the very end.
Okay.
All right, so essentially, I'm going to get randomize a number from 1 to 50, and then whoever gets the highest number wins. I'll go one by one for each person. Clark gets a score of 4.
Hmm.
John gets a score of 13. Frankie gets a score of 15. She's currently in the lead. Toilet Man gets a score of 25. Wallace gets a score of 38. Numbers keep getting higher. Dang.
Yeah.
Jerry gets a score of 15. Okay, Wallace is still in the lead. Squiggle, 45. Uh,
Wow.
Zonker gets a score of 38. Not quite enough to beat Squiggle. Red also gets a score of 48. Mother gets a score of 35. Maggie gets a score of 6. Tigger gets a score of 32. All right, Squiggle and Red are each going to go again to
Didn't you
see.
say that Squiggle had 45 and Red had 48?
Oh, I thought I said both had 48. Uh, well, if you heard 45, I'll go with that. Red has won HOH for the second time in the row. As in meaning in terms of like when she was eligible to win. Congratulations to her. All right. Oh, this is great. This is max drama.
Yeah. So is she
So
gonna target Mickey?
I think it's the same thing that she did with Tigger. It's like she will
Yeah.
still nominate Mickey, but at the same time, I don't think she views Mickey as somebody who is making much of the decisions. I think
Does she know it was John?
I don't think she knows it was John,
Or do
but
we,
I
did
think
or does she maybe think it was Clark because Clark uh John Clark Mickey wants to be attached to Clark and Mickey and Clark form a friendship. So maybe Red suspects that it was really Clark who was putting her up rather than John.
I think she would put that duo up. And I think her excuse might be it's like, Mickey, you put me up. Clark, you've been on the block before. I it's just easier to put you up than to put somebody who hasn't been up before. Or even though it's mainly because they're a duo and she wants to get rid of one of them.
Sounds reasonable.
All right, just gonna roll one thing real quick. Okay. Uh, so now we get the veto players. Uh, Red gets to pick another person. Does she pick Maggie again, or does she maybe pick Mother or Tigger? Does she pick Mother to give her a chance, or is she still closer to Maggie and more wants her to win?
I think I think Red has picked Maggie twice already,
Yeah,
so maybe she just t- t- to make it not too obvious that you could target her by targeting Maggie. Uh, Although people probably gather so much already,
Yeah,
she
it.
might go for someone else instead.
I either it's
Tigger.
yeah. Or I was also thinking Mother, but I'll go with Ticker. Um, and then we have John being picked for veto, not good for Red. And
Mm.
then we have Jerry being picked for veto. All right, Red, Mickey, Clark, Tigger, John, and Jerry. Our veto competition is Runaway Brain. The house guests each have a ball designed to look like a brain and a double-sided ramp. When the comp begins, the house guest will roll their brain from one side of the ramp to the other, catching it before it falls off the other side, and then rolling it back to where they started. That is 1 point. First to 50 points wins, and if it falls off, your points reset. So it is about endurance, it is about speed, and it's about coordination. It's very physical.
Yeah. And since it's about coordination, Tigger has no chance at winning this.
Yes, but also this is probably one of the most competitive vetoes we've had or competitions in general, really, because Red, Clark, and John, I think are all going to be very physical. They're all going to be pretty good at this. It's like
Yeah.
John definitely has like endurance down. Red is also going to be like very good at all of those things. Clark, it's all about whether he wants to turn it on or not. It's
I
just like,
think he does want to turn it on because
especially, yeah,
because he fears that he might actually get eliminated if he's up against Mickey. So I think he wants to save himself, so he's turning it on
yeah, but it's like but I think he is able to do it like in a like not
in a way
go
that the
full
others don't
power.
notice it. Yeah.
Like, yeah. All right. So I think that is an easy V to win for Clark. And who is Red going to put up in his place? Is she going to put up John? Does she know how close they are? Is she going to try and put up like maybe a pawn next to Mickey? Or like, because like we
Uh,
said, she doesn't really want Mickey to go home because she doesn't view him
yeah.
as much of a threat. But at the same
I
time, there's so few threats left.
yeah. I I don't know if I mean John gives himself the appearance of such a chill and friendly person. Uh, I don't think Red knows that John is the backstabber who was the reason why she was put on the block.
I think she might put up Frankie because, like we said,
Yeah,
she was kind of flirting with Clark and John, like,
yeah,
and she might see that, and it's just like she might not be a fan of that kind of gameplay, being a little bit of a floozy.
yeah.
So I think Frankie might be that replacement nominee. All right. And I just want to say for people, anybody who is a Big Brother watcher, I am imagining Frankie as a bit of a Allison Irwin kind of player, if you will. But unlike Allison, Frankie, I don't believe is going to make final two. But we'll see. Anything can happen. And so we do have Mickey and Frankie on the block. Clark is going to vote out Frankie. John is going to vote out Mickey.
Are you sure that Clark is going to vote at? Oh yes, yes. Sorry, yeah,
Because he's closer to
yeah,
Mickey. He
yes.
formed a very good friendship. Um, but I think I don't know if like I don't think this is going to be like a landslide vote either way. I think this might uh I think Frankie might be a bit standoffish, like only kind of hanging out with her group, whereas
Yeah,
Mickey might be a bit more like milling around the house, making better connections. Yeah, I think I was wrong. I think it might actually be a pretty easy vote for Frankie.
yeah. Yeah, I think enough people have sympathies for Mickey. Tig is not going to vote out Mickey.
Yeah, Tigger's not voting out Mickey. Frankie, or Maggie's gonna vote out Frankie. Mother's definitely gonna vote out Frankie. It's
Yeah.
like this might be in fact, I even think John might not even throw a sympathy vote towards Mickey. I think it might just be unanimous. All right, so that is a 10-0 vote to get out Frankie. All right. So that is 5 people evicted, and it's also time for our battle back competition. And all 5 of the evicted house guests will have a chance to enter back into the house. And the competition is called The Cat Came Back. The house guests are at the top of a tree and must get a cat to safety. However, the cat is just a ball. Oh, and the only way to lower the cat out of the tree is a thin bar with 2 ropes attached to either side to hold it up with. The house guests must place the ball on the bar and gently lower it to the ground. If the ball falls off the bar, they must bring the bar back up to the top and place a new ball on it and try again. First house gets to lower the ball to safety wins. So it's all about coordination and like being very gentle and specific with your movements. And so just a reminder, our 5 evicted house guests have been Beryl, Peter, Big Bad Wolf, Mary, and Frankie. Who do we think is going to be the most coordinated?
I don't think it's gonna be Beryl. I don't think it's gonna be Mary.
I don't think it's going to be Wolf.
Yes.
I
So
think
it's
it's
between Peter and Frankie.
I think it might be Peter. I
Yes.
think Peter's going to have the determination and like a mental strength to keep this steady. All right. I think we agree. I think Peter has earned his way back into the house. And Red has gained yet another ally.
Yeah.
She's got a good group with her and
Yeah,
a very obvious threat as well.
she's a power player.
It's a big target people are itching to take out.
And
She
if you say people, you mean John.
John, yes, but also like if anybody gets HOH that is thinking at all about this game,
Yeah.
they're putting Red up. Or it's like
Also, if someone like Squiggle is gonna get HOH, and it's just going for the chaos of putting her up.
exactly.
Even although
Although
everyone knows if you put her up, she will put you up back as soon as she has the chance, and she will get the chance, apparently.
yeah, but she does not get the chance currently.
That
Uh,
is true.
so our next HOH competition with Peter back in the game is Mike's new car. The house guests all pile into a small car. Last house guest in the car wins the competition and also wins the car. There is no sleeping allowed, no bathroom breaks. You are in that car until you can't be in there anymore. And like you, so it's all about who will stay in there the longest. Who's going to be determined enough to win this HOH in order to try and get this.
I could see John just being fiercely determined.
I definitely could see John being determined for it. And I think, and also like, the meditation stuff, it's like keeping that, like, that spiritual center is going to help him a lot. I think, like, people like, most of these people are going to be very impatient or also
Hmm.
just don't want it enough. Uh, is anybody on Red's Alliance going to want to be in there that long? Like, I
I
don't.
could see Peter wanting to do it just to show that he might have been the second person eliminated, but he's still in it to win it.
Yeah, and it's just like he has something to prove. He just got back in. He doesn't want to go back out again. And so maybe
I could see the
he,
last two being John and Peter, but John is just gonna pull through.
I Here's what I'm thinking. And especially in these type of like long-lasting endurance comps, when you get down to the final two or three, they start to try and make deals with each other just so that they can both get out of there, move on. And so who's gonna and they both know that whoever wins is likely going to put the other one on the block. But at the same time, they want to protect their own skin. And it's like John's probably saying, it's like, hey, I'm not here to go after you. I'm here to go after Red. If you get out, you're safe. And Peter is probably going to try and say the same thing back. It's like, I'm not going after you. I'm going to go after
Yeah.
Clark or Mickey. He-
But I don't think if John is saying to Peter, I'm going after Red, that's a reason for Peter to stay in there because he wants to show to Red that she can rely on him.
yeah, and yeah, it's like Peter's going to be very loyal to those who he could trust. So it's like if I think I think Peter is just more determined. I think he has that grit.
But
It's
but
like,
also Peter is a kid, and I could just see him trying to make it, but then just fall asleep at some point because it's
yeah,
too exhausted.
maybe, yeah, yeah, that God, I, I feel we're making this shit up, but I feel the disappointment in that where it's like he accidentally falls asleep and that is what costs him the competition, even though he was determined to stay in there, stay awake, and it's just, but he can't. He physically just cannot.
Yeah.
And so John wins HOH and he immediately puts up Red and Peter. Like there is no question about it. Peter
Yeah.
was not open to making any of those deals. And so it shows to John that Peter is going to be determined. And so he's going to get out Red, and if he can't get out Red, he'll get out Peter again. God.
At this point, I think we should take a brief moment to think of poor Toilet Man, who has been in it for weeks now, just wants to get out, and no one ever puts him up on the block for elimination because this is a strategic bunch.
Yeah, the people who keep winning are the people who like are here to play the game strategically, trying to get out the people who are going to stand in their way. And Toilet Man is not a person who's going to stand in their way.
Because everyone knows if they put up Toilet Man is going to get voted out. Uh, because,
There's also a lot of sympathetic people who would want to
yeah,
like do
I
that.
mean, Mother would immediately give Toilet Man a chance to go.
Tigger would, Wallace would,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, even Zonker would, but they
yes.
just aren't winning these competitions. Uh,
It's people like John and Red who are just eager to play it as strategically as possible.
uh,
But also, John is kind of letting his guard down by putting up Red and Peter because now he's making it appear he's showing how strategic he is.
yeah, he's like I think he's like when he puts them up, he's saying something like, "I would be a fool not to put you two up. You two are gonna the biggest competitors in this game. You
Yeah.
need to go." Oh, and it's like, but also something I want to put out into the world. Is there a point when Toilet Man just gives up on leaving and decides, "Fuck it, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try to win this. If I can't get these people to evict me, I'm gonna go for the big win. I'm gonna try and win this fucking game." Like maybe
I
that's
mean,
when jury starts. Maybe like I don't know when he would make that turn, but I think that's a turn he might make.
that's an interesting idea. I think there is a point when uh, Toilet Man just, rather than resigning himself to being there, just decides to have fun with it. And if he can't get out, he can at least he can do his best to enjoy his time and maybe enjoying his time and could start playing the game.
Hmm.
And
And,
playing the game, not strategically, but just in the way to see how good he's gonna get at it. So I could see Toilet Man reaching that point.
and you know what? I think Jerry and Toilet Man bond.
That sounds, yeah, good. Yeah,
I
I'll
think
buy that.
yeah, I think he can get along with them because I imagine like I do picture Toilet Man as kind of an older guy. Not as old Jerry, of course, but still like probably 40s, even 50s. And it's like he's definitely gonna be have more in common with Jerry than somebody like Clark or actually, what if no, I don't think like he would be able to like Jerry and Toilet Man would join up with the Maggie Tigger Mother Alliance. Or maybe. I think like Mother, like Jerry, Toilet Man, and Mother, like the three oldest people in this house, they might join up together. But at the same time, it's like, would they? I don't know.
I think they might be sympathetic towards each other, but I'm not sure they would be strategic enough to actually go for an alliance.
Okay. Yeah, they might like have an unspoken agreement where it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, we like you. It's like, and you won't be like our first picks as to who's going up, but it's not like we're going to be voting together. We're going to go to the end together.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, Red and Peter on the block. Time to pick veto players. Uh, Jerry has been picked to play veto. Zonker has been picked to play veto. And Wallace has been picked to play veto. All right. Now let's see what this competition is. Competition is Paperman. Before the competition, the house guests have had opportunities to practice making paper airplanes. For the competition, they will take turns throwing the paper airplane at a large target. Whoever's plane lands the closest to the center wins. Immediately, Wallace wins this. He's the
Yes.
engineer here. He knows how to make a perfect fucking paper airplane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there is no doubt in my mind that he can make this. Not only is it going to be a good paper airplane, it's going to have somehow out of just like one sheet of paper, he's going to make it so that there's a little paper computer inside there that will just like
It
find
will
like
seek
guide
its
it.
target.
It will seek the center and like perfectly land there. Like there's no way Wallace does not win this.
Yeah.
But then the question is, does he use it? Does he try and save Red or Peter?
I think he's not going for any drama, so he's gonna keep himself out of that. The other
Sure.
possibility, he would save Peter because he's a child, but I don't. I'd rather see him staying out of it.
Do we think like Red or Peter has like a pitch for Wallace in order to like save one of them? I mean, it's like like people are gonna go to Wallace to be like, "Hey, save me with this. I can like get you in this alliance or whatever. It's like I'll work with you." Ooh, it's like I if I win HOH next week, you will not go up, yada yada yada. And it's like, would Wallace be convinced by any of this?
I don't think so.
Okay. Right. So Wallace does not use the power of veto. And if anything, like even if he was convinced by this, I don't think he'd be able to make the decision between Red or Peter because,
Yeah,
they're part of the same thing. It's like we're just gonna get rid of one of them. And then so yeah, Red and Peter are the final nominees. And again, that is a bit boring to say that all of these are kind of unanimous votes, but actually maybe not. Okay, so like
mm,
Maggie, Mother, and Tigger are gonna vote out Peter because
yes.
they want to keep Red. She's their biggest player in this game. And then Mickey and Clark voting out Red.
So is John.
John is HOH, he can't vote.
Yeah, I forgot. Yes, true.
And then we have Squiggle and Zonker and Toilet Man and Jerry. Jerry, I think Jerry would vote out Peter because Red is such a big target, such a big player. She, like, this back and forth keeps all the attention off him and off people he wants to work with and just keeps this back and forth going. And meanwhile, Peter, if he stays, it's not going to change too much. He was just evicted. We
Yeah,
can just evict him again.
yeah.
So, but the question is, so where we stand is we have five, and okay, and also Jerry, I think, is able to convince Toilet Man of this, yada yada yada. They both vote out Peter. Where we stand right now is 5-2, leaning Peter, with three people left to vote. If all three of these people vote out Red, John will break the tie and vote out Red, evicting her. But if any one of them votes out Peter, Peter goes home.
So it's Tigger, Zonka, and Squiggle.
Squiggle, Zonker, and Wallace.
Wallace. Yes. Um, I could see Squiggle as an agent of chaos voting out Red. I don't think.
What would Squiggle view the chaotic move being Peter or Red? Because Red is going to bring more chaos into the house or keep more chaos in the house, whereas Peter is a bit more of a mellow personality, keeps to himself.
But
Oh,
voting out Red would change the power dynamic in the house.
that is
So
true.
it would leave a huge void. So I think the chaotic move would be to vote out Red.
Wallace, I think, hmm, Wallace and Zonker are hard to get a read on. Like
Yeah.
Zonker, I think Zonker likes Peter more. I think he might vote out Red. He
Yeah.
likes more chill people, and I think even though Peter has you don't you don't know Doonesbury that well, right?
No, I don't.
In Doonesbury, there's this guy named BD. He wears a football helmet all the time. He's this conservative guy. He's very strict. And then Zonker gets along well with him just because he likes pushing his buttons. And I think Peter kind of reminds him of BD. And so I think I think Zonker might vote out Red. And then Wallace holds the fate in his hands. He
And
can either vote out Peter or vote out Red, and he decides who goes home.
I think Wallace. I think Wallace would rather vote out Peter because Wallace doesn't look for big drama. And in the same way that Squiggle is an agent of chaos, Wallace is at least not intentionally seeking chaos.
Okay, so I think I'll go with that. And so then in a 6-4 vote, Peter is immediately evicted after coming back in the house, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but that's how things go
Yeah,
sometimes. Like it's a very
yeah. It's his fault for falling asleep in the car.
like you do not understand how similar this is to something that has actually happened on Big Brother. For those who know the show, season 6, Kaser versus Jennifer in the pressure cooker. He makes a deal with her and lets her win, and then she immediately backdoors him, and he goes out a week after he came back. Very, very fun times. All right. But Can't dwell on that much longer because we have another week to get to. This is week 6, 12 people remain, and it is one small step. One by one, the house guests will run across a course of narrow beams. If they fall off a beam, they must restart. Fastest time wins. It's about speed and balance. Part of me thinks Tigger could win this just by being able to bounce from one end of the course to the next. Part of me thinks Red could win this. She's very small, probably
And
very
part of me
spry.
thinks Toilet Man could think is because going a very straight path and not veering off that path for 1 millimeter is pretty much his thing in Tango.
I like that a
As
lot.
it's the thing of every character in Tango.
I like that a lot.
And
Like,
since he decided to play the game now,
let's give Toilet Man this win. Let's really shake up the power here.
yeah, and everyone is completely stunned that this guy who originally didn't want to be there is suddenly just enjoying the game.
Like, he tried to win a competition and won it. It's like, what the hell is he going to do now? Oh my God.
And he's conferring with Jerry
Yeah,
to
it's him and
decide.
Jerry against the world. And it's like, who like, and now these people are going to be suddenly going out of their way to be like, hey, like, I want to work with me, want to, keep me off the block, please. And it's like, I don't think it's a lot of these people are going to be so fake about it. Like the Red's group and John's group are like, it's very obvious attempts like, hey,
Yeah.
we just want to work with you because we want to be safe this week. But
Yeah,
I
and I
think,
think Jerry sees through them and advises Toilet Man to put John and Red on the line, the two leaders.
and also, I think this moment might bring together an alliance of Toilet Man, Jerry, Squiggle, Zonker, and Wallace. All of the
Yeah.
outsiders who've been kind of excluded from the main power struggle. It's like they are officially together. And so we have, and so now they're, in terms of numbers, this is the main group now. We have this group of
Yes.
5, then the group of 4 with Red, Maggie, Tigger, Mother, and then just a little group of 3 with John, Clark, and Mickey. So we put up, and so like we said, or like you said, but I'm agreeing with it. John and Red are nominated. And let's pick these veto players. One second, just writing down who's nominated. Um, so yeah, 12 people in the house. Mickey has been picked for veto. Tigger has been picked for veto. And Red gets to pick a person. And she, as Tigger has already been picked, she has Maggie and Mother to pick between, both of which she's picked before. So it's more just
Has she
about,
picked Mother before?
yes,
Okay.
once.
Okay, then she's gonna pick Maggie again.
Okay. All right. And so I have something stupid. Uh so in Big Brother, there's this character named Zingbot, and he comes into the house and makes jokes making fun of each of the house guests. And before and just in preparation for this, I did write down different zings for each of the house guests. But at the same time, these are very stupid. So I'm wondering if do I want to waste your time with all of this or should we just move past it? And I'll let you make the decision. Do you want to hear these stupid jokes making
Yes, go for
okay.
it.
And I wish I had like a robot like voice modulator or anything, but I don't. So it's just like I'll just go one by one. First, we have Wallace. You are a genius inventor, but after seeing you play Big Brother, I have to wonder who really does all the inventing, you or your dog? Uh, Tigger, you are always bouncing all over the house. Do you think that it makes your brain shake all around in your head? Oh, wait, you don't have one. Uh, Clark, you are an all-American guy. Grew up on a farm, worked your way up to being a reporter at a major newspaper. You are the American dream, as in, you put me to sleep. John, you are always promoting peace and love and asking us all to imagine a better world. When I imagine a better world, it doesn't have you in it. Zonker, you are
That's a
probably
nasty read for somebody who has been killed.
Zonker. You are probably the most relaxed house guest of everyone here. I have to ask, is it because of the weed or because you're completely fucking oblivious? Um, Red, you have overcome so much to get where you are now. You've lost those closest to you, had to fight against great evils, and overcome your lack of personality. Squiggle, you're one wild and crazy guy, completely unpredictable. Well, I guess I can predict one thing. You're not winning. Mickey, you're one of the biggest icons of animation, the face of one of the largest companies in the world. I would love to interview you if you weren't so fucking boring. Uh Frankie's already gone. Maggie, I almost feel bad zinging a baby, but I think there's one thing we can all agree on. Maggie sucks. Uh, let's see. Mother, it's clear you love everyone here as if they're your own children. Tell me then, I'm curious. Are you going to eat them too? Jerry, you have shown everyone that you're incredibly intelligent and warm and caring and so fucking old. Uh, Toilet Man. Uh, I was supposed to zing all 12 house guests, but I can only see 11. Oh, wait, there it is. The toilet that the waste of fucking space is carrying. That's it. That's all the things. And I have other ones for, people who are already evicted, which I won't bother reading. Uh,
That's a shame, because I would have loved to hear the ones for Big Bad Wolf and Frankie. And Mary, actually.
Fine. I'll just quickly read those ones out too. Wolf. Uh, Everyone sees you as this big bad villain. I want to let you know that I don't see you that way. You want to know what I see? A big fucking loser. Uh, let's see. Frankie, you are a firecracker of a personality. Nobody can tell you what to do. That is except your parole officer. Mary, you have shown us all that despite your stature, you are a fierce competitor, full of love for others, and totally fucking insane. Uh, Peter, you may be a child, but we know you are wise beyond your years because you're no fucking fun. Um, what haven't I done?
Barrel.
Beryl, yes. Beryl, you have so much passion for this game. You always give every competition 110%. If only you had put that energy into reading a fucking book. That's it. That's everybody.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were laughing at them. It felt cringe writing them all out, but at the same time, it's like I couldn't not do that.
Yeah, they were fun.
All right. Anyway, time for the veto competition. Technological threat. The house guests have bowling balls, which they will use to knock over three Zingbot like pictures, cutouts, whatever. However, a gate is blocking them. To lower the gate, they must spin themselves around 30 times, which will lower the gate for 10 seconds. First to knock down all the Zingbots wins. So they're all playing at the same time. Whoever can knock down the three targets wins. Well, and it's so we have Toilet Man, John, Red, Mickey, Tigger, and Maggie. So not only is it about, speed and controlling your balance while being dizzy, there's also like you have to have a bit of force when throwing like these bowling balls. And part of me thinks Toilet Man has this. Like I think he might
Yeah,
have all the necessary qualities. And it's like I
yeah,
like with John, like I think he might not be the best at this. Like he might like he can like center himself, but I think he might be a bit slow with it. Red is not going to be best with like being dizzy. Mickey, Tigger, and Maggie are just lost causes. I think Toilet Man wins this veto as well.
yes, agreed.
And so out of nowhere, Toilet Man won both the head of
Yeah.
household and the veto.
Toilet Man suddenly emerges as a power player in this game.
And it's just like, what the hell? But yeah, so final nominees are John and Red because I doubt he's gonna change his nominations. And now it's about who evicts who. And really, it's just about who Toilet Man wants to get rid of, or who his alliance wants to get rid of.
Yeah, because I mean, uh, Clark and Mickey are going to vote at Red, and
Tigger, Maggie, and Mother will vote out John. So
yeah,
maybe I think they might go for getting rid of Red just because she has more
she has
numbers.
more numbers. Yes.
So yeah, it'll be a 3 to 6 vote evicting Red. And she is also our last pre-juror. So everybody still in the house is going to be on the jury or in the final two chairs. So congratulations to Toilet Man, John, Jerry, Squiggle, Tigger, Mickey, Zonker, Wallace, Maggie, Clark, and Mother. Anyone you're surprised has made it this far?
Toilet Man,
Toilet Man,
obviously,
yeah.
because
Also, I'm surprised Squiggle has made it this far. Usually he's one of the first two evicted.
yeah,
Um, Same with Tigger, actually. Tigger usually when I've played this by myself, he ends up getting evicted pretty early just by being a bit boisterous. Anyway, um, so our first HOH competition of the jury phase is the bigger picture. The house guests will play two at a time. They are shown a Where's Waldo style picture featuring a collage of all the house guests and have many buttons in front of them corresponding to different regions of the picture. If the first person to buzz in is correct, they eliminate the other house guests. If they're incorrect, they are eliminated. The surviving house guest picks the next two to play. So Christoph, just pick two random house guests to start us off.
Zonke and Mother.
Perfect. All right. So first off, who between Zonker and Mother, who do you think is going to be more detail oriented? Probably
Mother.
Mother. All right, Zonker is eliminated. Who will Mother pick next? And I'll just say typically, you try to pick people who you don't want to win so that they're more likely to get eliminated before they can get to the end of the competition. So Mother is probably gonna pick maybe
Clark and John.
Yeah, Clark and John. All right. Between Clark and John, who do we think is going to get this? Maybe Clark? It's like Clark still has like a normal person's intelligence. It's just he has like better speed. But at the same time, I
Yeah,
think reaction time is very important.
yeah. I think Clark is getting this.
At the very least, this one, like he can eliminate John. And then Clark is probably gonna put up um Maggie
And
and
Tigger.
Tigger. Yeah. Um Maggie wins. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Tigger's
yeah.
gonna press
This
the wrong
is
button. Uh Maggie will then pick Clark and Mick Mickey. Clark and
Mickey.
Mickey. Yeah. Uh I think Clark
Clark is
again.
getting this.
Yeah, Clark again gets it. Clark will pick Maggie and Wallace?
Mother.
Mother? Oh yeah, Mother. Uh, Maggie and Mother could both get this. Uh,
Yeah. But I think Maggie's gonna do it. This sounds like something that Maggie, the prodigy that she is, would excel at.
all right, Maggie puts up Clark and Wallace then, I think. Yeah, let's do Wallace.
Yeah,
And now Wallace, I think, might be able to beat Clark.
that's possible.
I think I'll do that. Wallace puts up probably Maggie and Squiggle, which I think Maggie beats Squiggle here.
Yeah,
And then Jerry and Wallace are the last two people eligible, which I think Jerry might actually get it over
yeah.
Wallace. And then we have the baby and the old man as our final two.
And just in terms of reaction time, Maggie is probably gonna get this.
All right. Maggie is our new head of household. The baby has won. All right. So this is good news for Mother and Tigger. And then probably bad news for John, Clark, and Mickey. But also
But
she might
might
be,
she might be talking to the new big group.
yeah,
She might just put up Jerry and Toilet Man.
maybe. I also need to roll something real quick. Okay. Um, yeah, it's definitely like there's this definite back and forth going on. Again, it's like this is a numbers game. And so she might see that bigger group and be like, okay, we need to get them out. We need to hit them once at least. So definitely Toilet Man because he just won two competitions in a row. That's definitely a big
Yeah,
threat. And then,
maybe
and
Wallace rather than Jerry.
yeah, because like, well, Jerry's going to be good at mental counts, but he's still like not best physically. Wallace is probably more of an active threat.
Yeah.
All right, Toilet Man and Wallace. Um, Let me just write them down. I wonder, like, what John Clark and Mickey are thinking about, like, them avoiding the block. It's just like, well, we were fighting this whole time, but now we were safe this week. All right. How many people are? 11. All right. Veto players. Um, Clark has been picked. Toilet Man gets to pick an ally. I think he picks Jerry.
Wouldn't you rather pick Squiggle or Zonkers? Because
Part of me is thinking, like, in terms of like putting out your like you want to be prepared for anything the veto competition might be. So it's like
yeah.
Toilet Man's definitely going to be better at like the physical stuff, while Jerry might be better at like more mental stuff, more.
Okay, that's true.
And then last veto pick, Mickey. So we have a good representation of from each alliance here. And the veto competition is special delivery. The house guests are given a large collection of oddly shaped packages and must fit them all inside of a truck bed. Quickest to solve the puzzle wins. So this is mainly a mental comp, although there is a physical element trying like bring the pieces, and they're rather large pieces. So it's like somebody like Maggie and Jerry probably aren't going to be doing the best with this. But Toilet Man and Wallace are going to be both good. Uh, Clark and Mickey can at least maneuver, but I think Wallace is probably has the best
Yeah,
aptitude for these puzzles.
yeah. I think Wallace Wallace seems like the best one for this. If it weren't such large pieces, it would be Maggie's, obviously. But the way this works is probably Wallace.
Yeah. All right. Wallace takes himself off the block. Uh, and then so Maggie, Toilet Man is still on the block, and who is she going to put up next to him? Maybe Jerry, or maybe
Zonka,
there's also part of me also thinking, nah, she does still want to get rid of like somebody from that bigger alliance. So,
yeah,
and I think she is targeting Toilet Man here.
yeah,
So,
and Zonka, I don't think her thinking is people are not going to vote for Zonka. They know Zonka for longer. Zonka's chill. They like Zonka. So if she puts up Zonka next to Toilet Man, then Toilet Man's probably going to go.
exactly. All right. Toilet Man versus Zonker. Uh, so Wallace, Squiggle, and Jerry are definitely voting out Zonker. And then Mother and Tigger are gonna be voting out Toilet Man. And now John, Clark, and Mickey have a decision to make
Mm,
because they have two sides. They could vote out Zonker, who is like, or they could vote out Toilet Man, who's definitely going to be a bigger threat than Zonker, or they could vote out Zonker and leave Toilet Man as the bigger threat in the house, who is definitely going to be going after, more likely going to be going after Maggie than them. And it's like I think John is voting out Zonker, but
yes.
I also think that there might be a bit of disparity with the alliance where it's like Mickey might be voting more emotionally. Mickey likes Zonker more, or I think Mickey might vote out Toilet Man, split the vote a little bit. But Clark has the ultimate decision here.
I think Clark is listening to John on this case because uh, Clark wants to win, and John makes a compelling case for voting out Zonka because Toilet and for keeping her out Toilet Man as the bigger target.
All right. I I think yeah,
And yeah,
this ends up as a 5-3 vote evicting Zonker. All right. Uh, right. So this is a bit of a failed HOH for Maggie. Her target is still in the house. And she can't compete for that next HOH. And which our next HOH is the windshield wiper. The house guests are each standing on a pole with handles for them to hold onto. When the competition starts, the poles will move back and forth like a windshield wiper, and the last one holding on wins. So it is pure endurance, maybe a bit of physical strength to stay on this pole. I think somebody like I think Tigger and Mother are both easily knocked out of this. Same with Mickey.
Je
Like
and Jerry.
and Jerry. Uh I think I think Squiggle has I think there's a chance he could
Yeah,
stay in this. And like if he kind of wraps himself around the handles or whatever, it's just like he can make himself so tight in there that he
yes.
can't get knocked out, even if he was too tired to let go. It's like I think he might he might be it. It might be a Squiggle HOH. Let's get Squiggle fucking in there. Jesus Christ. I did not think Squiggle would make it this far, but here we are. He's guaranteed final nine at least.
Yeah.
And he definitely is going to put up Maggie. Or, yeah, Maggie. Does he put up Tigger as well? Or does he just kind of try and split it, put up John or something?
I think
And keep in mind, Jerry is in his ear. So it's like,
I think he'll I mean, let's remember Squiggle was friends with Zonka. So
well, yeah, he's
uh,
going to have want a bit of vengeance.
yeah. Remind me again. Do they know who voted out who?
No, they do not. Although
Okay.
there you can probably infer like because it's like so for example, with that 5-3 vote, they're not gonna know like between John Clark Mickey which one voted to keep Zonker uh or voted out Toilet Man over Zonker. Um but like they could form theories, maybe even Mickey would say like or maybe like Clark and or yeah, maybe Clark and John would say it's like, hey, I voted to keep you ooh, to Toilet Man or something. I don't know.
I
But
see Squiggle putting the two alliances against each other, so he would
oh yeah,
probably
Max
either go
Chaos
for
too.
Clark or John.
Uh, I would say probably I think he'd put up John. Yeah, it's like what would happen before with Red and John being put up next to each other. But this time we don't have like it's even alliances, so it's not like one of them's going to be uh there's not a more desirable evicted person. Well, you could say like maybe the grown man is more desirable to evict than the baby, but we'll
That's true.
we'll get there when we get there. Maggie and John are nominated, and then we pick the veto players. There are 10 people in the house. Jerry has been picked. Toilet Man has been picked. Clark has been picked. Bad news for Maggie. She is the only one on her
Yeah.
side of the house who has been picked or who is playing in this veto competition. The veto competition is magic candies. The house guests have a series of differently shaped and colored candies, and they are given a riddle that they have to decipher involving their candies and what order to sort them into. First house guest to solve this riddle wins. This is a good one for Maggie, though.
Yeah.
She is good
Yeah.
at,
Maggie's lucky on that one.
yeah. I think her only competition here is
It's
Jerry,
Jerry.
but yeah, both of them, honestly, I think both of them could get it. It's like, while Jerry, yeah, Jerry is a bit slower, but also it's like, I think he might be a little more intellectually capable, so where it like kind of balances out. Like he might solve it quicker, but not be able to put it together. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be very, very close.
But I think Maggie takes it.
You think Maggie takes it?
I think Maggie takes it.
I'll, I'll go with you. All right. And Maggie, of course, uses the veto to take herself off. And now the question is Squiggle going to put up somebody else from Maggie's alliance, Tigger or Mother, or is he going to like go full in on John's side and put up Clark or Mickey?
He's gonna put up either Tigger or Clark.
Tigger or Clark? Okay.
And I'm not sure which one.
I hmm, yeah, there's just two minds about this, and it's like so here's something I'm thinking. Whichever I think there's a chance that if he puts up John and Clark, or actually if he puts up John and Tigger and they evict John, there might be a chance that they can still convince Clark and Mickey over to their side in order to take out the rest of Maggie Tigger Mother.
Mm,
Or it's like you do the other way and it's like Or you put up like, or actually, they might do that thinking that this could be something that works, but then it's like it just has the opposite effect where instead they drift towards closer to Maggie Tigger Mother and try to take out Squiggle Jerry Wallace Toilet Man. Where it's like the old rivals become new allies in order to take out the new big threat.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think Tigger goes up. I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I think
My gut says Tigger.
it's going to be a 5-2 vote to evict John, with Clark and Mickey voting out Tigger, everybody else voting out John.
That's true. Yes.
All right. Uh, John, 5-2 vote. And now we have our next HOH competition, which is Rhapsody and Rivets. The house guests have all the parts to build a structure and a picture of what the final structure should look like. Pieces are scaled to the size of the contestants, and fastest wins. So yeah, it's basically building a piece of IKEA furniture. They have the finished product, they have all the pieces. It's just about being able to put it all together.
So it must be Wallace, right?
It must be Toilet Man.
That's right. Right. Wallace was something like making something up, following the instructions. Yes, you're right. Toilet Man.
It's like, well, Wallace would like just try and make something new with the parts, like kind of forget about the challenge. It's just like, but Toilet Man, it's like, okay, you have to build this thing. We're gonna put it all together. Uh, but yeah, so power doesn't really shift, just goes from Squiggle to Toilet Man, same
Yeah.
alliance. All right. And this is Toilet Man's second HOH as well.
Yeah. And I think as one of the alliances is reduced to just Clark and Mickey, Toilet Man and Jerry are just gonna target Maggie's alliance and put up Maggie and Tigger.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Um, yeah, Maggie and Tigger again, just dwindling the numbers of both of them to try and keep their alliance as the dominant one. All right. Yep, just easy peasy. Pick those veto players. We have Wallace picked. We have Maggie getting her choice, and of course she picks Mother. And then we have Clark getting picked as well. All right. Veto competition is Pigs in a Polka. The house guests are dressed in pig costumes and are each dancing with an animatronic pig. Whenever music is playing as they dance, and they cannot let go of the pig when the music is playing. When the music stops, they must race to sit down in one of the chairs. Last to sit down is eliminated, and last house guest standing wins. So it's essentially musical chairs. And it's like just whoever can get to an open seat first, or whoever is the last one to a seat is eliminated. And it's just round by round until one person is left. It's about speed and reaction time. It's gonna be I think
Clark is winning this.
Clark is definitely winning this. Uh yeah, that very simple.
Yeah.
But
And he's not using the veto.
but there is kind of the thing we mentioned before where it's like they might be thinking like, well, okay, yeah, there is the danger of like if Clark uses the veto on Maggie, Toilet Man would instead put up Mickey and he might lose Mickey. I think he just can't risk that.
Yeah, there's no reason why Clark should use the veto here.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Maggie and Tigger are still on the block. Uh, but I think with the vote though, wait, actually, they can't get a majority in this vote because it's 3-3. So like Mother might vote out Tigger, but Jerry Wallace and Squiggle are all going to be voting out Maggie because she's shown herself to be a bit of an intelligent competitor, a bit of a strategist. And
Mm,
with Clark and Mickey, they it's like they they might have, if this was last round, they might have thought to be like, hey, let's keep Maggie so we can join together, but they just don't have those numbers because it will just form a 3-3
yeah.
tie. Toilet Man would break the tie, evict
Also,
Maggie.
I think I don't see Mickey voting out a fellow Disney character.
That's good. All right. So yeah, 5-1 vote to evict Maggie. All right, she becomes our third juror. Numbers are already dwindling.
I
And
mean, uh, Maggie is kind of a Disney character by now as well, but Tigger has always been a Disney character.
yeah, Ma- he's known Tigger longer.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
Maggie just joined the company fairly recently.
all right. Uh, HOH competition is Tulips Shall Grow. House guests are stood on one side of a long slip and slide track, each given a small watering can and a large basin of water. On the other side is a tube with a ball made to look like a tulip inside it. House guests will each make their way across the slippery course, pour their water in the tube, then go back across to refill their watering can. First person to fill their tube with water and pull out the tulip wins. Uh, so this is going to be a long competition of just running back and forth. And also the slippery surface does kind of favor like larger players. And so I think this is a very easy comp for Clark to win.
Yeah.
Like even if he weren't Superman, like spoilers, ooh, Clark Kent is Superman. Uh I think this like he would win this even as just Clark Kent. So,
Yes.
but now this is when Clark gets the chance to turn the game on its head. And instead of putting up longtime rivals Tigger and Mother, he might join up with them and instead put up Toilet Man and I guess Squiggle or Wallace or Jerry.
I think since Squiggle was, I mean, Jerry still looks unassuming, and I don't think people really outside the Alliance know that Jerry is the one who's pulling the strings. And since Squiggle was HOH recently, it's probably going to be Toilet Man and Squiggle.
Yeah, Toilet Man is definitely the
The
bigger
two
threat.
characters I requested are
Yeah,
now on the line.
and they're both in jury, which is really
Yeah,
impressive.
they both had a much better run than I anticipated.
Yeah. So yeah, Toilet Man and Squiggle are on the block. And sorry, just gonna write all this down. All right, veto players. We only have 8 people left, so only 2 people will be sitting out of the veto. Clark gets a pick. He's gonna be picking Mickey.
Mickey,
Um, Toilet Man gets a pick. He's gonna be picking Wallace or Jerry. Wallace, sure.
Wa- yeah,
If
he
we,
picked Jerry last time, so
yeah,
Wallace.
give everybody a chance. And then Tigger is the third person picked. All right. Veto competition is how to avoid friendship. Each of the veto players will hide a small doll somewhere in the house. One by one, each house guest will take turns trying to find the other dolls. The last unfound doll wins. So it's all about being able to come up with a creative enough hiding spot that nobody will be able to find. My immediate thoughts here are either Toilet Man or Wallace. Toilet Man because he knows like the ins and outs of all these appliances. He can like put it inside like hide it somewhere inside like the toilet basin or something like that. And like he or like in the sink somewhere. Meanwhile, Wallace is just, a creative kind of guy like that. I think he'd just be able to come up with a spot where it's like, oh yeah, nobody would look here ever, or like be able to like maneuver a drawer in a way where it's like hidden, like behind a drawer where nobody would be able to think to look.
I think it's Wallace.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll go with that. Sure. Yeah, Wallace wins. And Wallace, this is a kind of a bad outcome for Clark because Wallace can use the veto to take somebody off, and then the only other person to put up would be Jerry from that alliance.
Yeah. So Wallace gonna save Squiggle, who he knows longer, or Toilet Man?
I think Wallace. Hmm.
Also, I mean, Wallace has been chosen by Toilet Man to compete for him, so it would be. I mean,
Yeah,
it would be a nasty move by Wallace to not save Toilet Man then.
I think Wallace picks Toilet Man, and
Yeah.
Jerry, of course, gets put up in his place. But I think Squiggle is the one that gets evicted by both sides
Yeah.
because nobody really knows that Jerry is the one who's a bit of the big strategist of that group.
Yeah, I mean, Squiggle is the agent of chaos, and maybe there are still strategists here. Even if the major strategists like Red Riding Hood have long been eliminated in John Lennon, Squiggle, there's still strategists here, and an agent of chaos is maybe someone they would rather have taken out by this point
Hmm. Like this is
because it could backfire against them.
we're in the end game, and it's just like chaos is no good. Yeah, so 5-0 vote getting rid of Squiggle, making him the fifth member of our jury. All right.
Fifth or fourth?
Fifth, Zunker, John, Maggie, Jerry, Squiggle.
Uh,
And yeah, we
Jerry?
have four more that need to be added and making 9 people total for the jury.
Did you just say Jerry?
Oh, no, not Jerry. Maybe it is. I don't know why Jerry was put in there. Huh.
I
Oh,
only got Zonka, John, Maggie, and Squiggle so far.
oh yeah, I'm sorry. I what had happened was it's like when I went to move Squiggle over to jury, it's like I accidentally moved Jerry over, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to move Squiggle over, and it's like, oh. Anyway, thank you for catching that. Uh, anyway, wait, let me just. Okay, yeah, 7 people remain. That's how many people are left. Okay,
Yeah, Wallace, Tigger, Clark, Mickey, Mother, Jerry, and Toilet Man.
this is a
Toilet
very
Man.
Toilet Man's still here. Toilet. When I've done this simulation
Yeah.
before, Toilet Man has won a couple times, and it's like it's not unlike him to win.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Toilet Man going from not wanting to be there to just being in it just for fun. I think by now Toilet Man wants to win
Hmm.
because Toilet Man had a better run than he anticipated when he decided that wants to go there. Toilet Man is in it to win now.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like we have some good competitors still left. Like we still have Clark, we still have Toilet Man,
Yeah.
we still even have Wallace and especially Jerry, who's
For
been
yeah.
pulling
For
these
some reason,
strings.
we also still have Mickey Mouse.
We have Mickey and Tigger still, and Mother, who has
Yeah.
done nothing. She
Yeah.
hasn't done anything.
Mother has done nothing except just being there and being kind and friendly to
She
everyone.
she has been a vote for that alliance, and that's it. Okay. Anyway, uh, HOH Comp is the longest daycare. The house guests are each in a crib lined with fencing that you can barely get your hands through, with each house guest getting custom cribs that scale to their size. There is a bin of eggs just on the outside of the crib. You have to pick up an egg through the crib and move it across the crib through the bars into a bin on the other side. First house guest to get 5 eggs into the holder wins. So it's just about like kind of precision and coordination with the hands as you like push it through the tight holes and try to move these egg across without breaking them.
I
Who,
could see Mother being good at this.
yeah. Like I'm looking at this group and it's like Jerry is going to be very slow and steady about it, but maybe a bit too slow. Uh I think Wallace is just a bit clumsy.
Yeah.
Toilet Man, Toilet Man would could be good at this. Mickey could. Mickey has big
But Toilet
fingers.
Man will break an egg or two as he's doing it.
I Mother is going to be a lot more careful and precious with them.
Yeah. But
Let,
still not as slow as Jerry.
let's give Mother the win. We
Yeah.
just said she hasn't been doing a damn thing, and she
Yeah, and now
decided
here
to
she
prove
is
us wrong.
proving us wrong.
Congratulations, Mother. All right. Uh, so Wallace, Toilet Man, and Jerry. She is putting up Toilet Man and Wallace. Sure. Yeah.
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 All right. Just gonna write them down real quick. And we're at the point where only one person is sitting out of the veto. All right. So who we've got is wait, uh Mother gets to pick a person. She picks Clark, I guess? Or maybe Tigger because she's closer to him.
Yeah, I would say Tigger.
All right. And then Clark gets picked, and then Jerry gets picked. Mickey is the only one sitting out of the veto. And our veto competition is Otev the Crunchbird. The house guests are sat in front of Otev the Crunchbird, who gives clues as to a former house guest he'd like to crunch. The house guest will then run out to into the field to find a card with the house guest's name on it, which are strewn about. Last one to return to Otev or return with a wrong house guest in each round is eliminated. Last one standing wins.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of it is a bit of like random chance just being able to find the right thing, but then it's also about one, knowing like what the clues mean, and also the athleticism of being able to run out and run back. So it's a very mixed comp. It's
Yeah.
gonna need to,
I think Clark is probably has most of these in his skill set.
but at the same time, I don't think he wants to win. Like he wants, like he, like he wants to win because he wants to keep the numbers the same. But at the same
Yeah.
time, he's only going to win as far as he needs to. Like
Yeah.
he, like if, well, the problem is,
Still, no one here suspects him of being Superman.
yeah.
And he'd
So,
like it. The interesting question is, will he drop his? Will he show it in the final stretch if it comes this far, or will he just remain Clark Kent until the end?
so what I've been doing every single turn, I've been rolling a d20, and if it if it hit 20, I was gonna have Clark like there's gonna be a random event where Clark accidentally like somebody accidentally trips off a balcony and he uses his super speed to go and save them. And it's like, oh shit, everybody knows I have superpowers now. And like then that's when he goes full Superman and for the rest of the game. Uh and if I hit a one with Mickey Mouse, he was going to turn into Julius from Runaway Brain. But so far I have not hit either of those, which has been a little bit disappointing, but that's how things go sometimes. Anyway, so but the thing is, it's like the people who are going to be competing against Clark are Toilet Man and Wallace. So I think he needs to win this. It's like he
Yeah.
has no choice but to win it in order to keep both of them on the block. But unless he wants to like let them win it and just like it's okay if they use it because they can just put up Jerry anyway.
Mm,
So like maybe Wallace could win it or maybe Toilet Man could win it. And it's like it's not the biggest loss because Yeah, just put up Jerry, get out Wallace or whatever. What do you think?
But I don't think Wallace is. I think Wallace is too absent-minded for the finding part of this competition. So even if anyone is gonna win it other than Clark, it's probably Toilet Man, because Wallace won't find the things he needs to find.
Although there's another part of me where it's like Clark might be a little bit competitive and might want to just win. Like he might
Yeah,
just enjoy winning.
yeah, and
That
I think what is happening is Clark wants to throw it, but then he realizes that the other guys are just too bad. So even after a while, he says, "Oh fuck it, I'll just gonna take it anyway."
Mhm. All right. Yeah, it's just like Toilet Man is just like he we'll let Clark win. But he's of course not going to be using the veto, and so Toilet Man and Wallace are still on the block. And now it's just about who they're going to vote out. And I think it might end up being a 4-0 vote for Toilet Man's eviction.
Yeah.
Like because Jerry is going to be keen enough to notice like where the vote's going and just go along with it.
It's really strange how much farther Wallace is going in this competition this year than Gromit got last year.
Yeah. Because Grommet's so much more of a threat.
Yeah, Gromit was so competitive and eager to win, and Wallace doesn't mind being there. He likes being there, but he. I don't want to say he's like Mr. Magoo because Mr. Magoo was just stumbling himself through the competition and Wallace is not. But it's still, you know, Gromit is watching this and it's driving him mad. He loves Wallace, but it's still driving him mad to see how effortlessly Wallace is making it now to top six.
Yeah, and it's like who the Grommet of this season is definitely Maggie, somebody who's trying to hide how good they
Yeah,
were at this. But again, it's
I
like
I was thinking this a while ago. Maggie is the Gromit of this season.
yeah, like Maggie, all like Grommet was like failed to hide her strengths and was able
Yeah.
to, and like got evicted because of it.
Maggie could hide it a bit longer, but the moment Red was eliminated, Maggie had no one to hide behind.
Yeah, she didn't. Something I feel like I failed to kind of account for is floaters in this game. People who uh aren't really loyal to any one alliance and instead like just kind of get in good with the power at any given week. And it's like somebody like Maggie could have been a floater like that, but it's not a strategy that really came to mind for me while I make something like this. Anyway,
It's always next year.
yeah. I yeah, there what between this year and next year, I'm gonna make you just watch every season, and then you'll know all the strategies, and so you can like correct me where I've misstepped. Anyway, so yeah, we just got rid of Toilet Man, and now it's time for our double eviction round. Uh,
Ooh.
since there's 6 people left, I like to do double evictions where it's like I don't have to think about who's playing in the veto or anything. So the HOH competition is creature comforts. In each round, the house guests are shown an intricate picture of an animal in its habitat and immediately ask a multiple choice question about the picture. Fastest to buzz in gets to eliminate another house guest from the competition. So Mickey, Clark, Tigger, Wallace, and Jerry are all looking at these pictures and trying to get in right. And whenever somebody gets it right, they get to eliminate somebody else. And something to think about is also people who buzz in quickly but still get it wrong. So for example,
Like
like
Tigger.
like Tigger, he might buzz in first but get it wrong and immediately eliminates himself. Then between like Clark, Wallace, and Jerry, Jerry might be really good at this. It's like he might be able to
Yeah.
see the details quickly enough in order and press the button.
He might not be quick on the buzzer, but when he's buzzing in, he's right.
Yeah, it's like I think he might be able to get like Like, let's say question one, Tigger buzzes in first, gets it wrong. Question two, Jerry buzzes in and eliminates Clark.
Yes.
But then question three, I the thing is, I think all three of them might be good at this. Like Mickey could definitely get a question right. Wallace could definitely get these questions right. And I
Mother is
think,
still here. Oh no, no, mother's not in this
yeah,
HOH competition, right?
Mother
Okay.
won the last HOH, so she cannot compete. And I'll say just for the plot, Mickey gets the next one right and eliminates Jerry. And so the final two are Mickey and Wallace. And
And I
who
think Wallace wins.
I do think Wallace probably wins this. It's him and Jerry against the world. Oh, him, Jerry, and Tigger, I should say.
True.
Wait, no, not Tigger. Wait.
Ew.
Yes, Tigger. Wait,
Tigger? No.
no. Oh yeah, it's Tigger, Mother, Mickey, and
And
Clark. That's right. I again, I still get these
yeah.
alliances mixed up sometimes. Anyway, Wallace won HOH. Wallace is going to put up Clark and Mickey because they're a duo. Like at this point, it's
Yeah.
like you can't just think about alliances. You need to be thinking about this end game.
Yeah.
And with such a strong duo like Clark and Mickey, you need to try your best to split them up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Wallace and then Clark and Mickey. The veto competition is no time for nuts. The house guests have balls designed to look like nuts that they are going to try and roll down a winding track. They can manipulate the track, turning it to try and guide the ball along it. First to get three nuts down the track wins. So it's all about coordination and like being able to maneuver the balls down the track. Does Clark win this? Is he that fine-tuned with stuff like this?
I could I I'm gravitating towards Mother a bit.
Mother could be pretty good for this. Yeah. Also Wallace. Wallace I think could be really good.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, I'm not too familiar with the intricacies of Superman's powers, but part of me is thinking like maybe he'd have better sensitivity, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Clark wins this.
Clark, okay. Clark takes himself off, and up goes Mother because she just won HOH. Like
I mean,
I
it's not gonna be Jerry, so it's either Mother or Tigger.
and I think Tigger is probably seen as a bit of a goat, like somebody bring to the end just to be an easy beat. Like, because
Yeah.
even though he's like won a good amount of competitions, he's still like very obviously not much of a strategic threat. And like when it comes to those final jury questions, he's not going to be like not going to be eloquent at all.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's this one of my favorite Big Brother moments is the final speeches from BB15 where it's like you have one of the most thoughtful, strategic, best players in the entire history of the show up against this woman named Gina Marie who's from I think Long Island and just has this thick accent and is just very bad with the English language and is just like somebody asks her, what was your biggest move in the game besides getting me out? And she's just like, well, I think my biggest move in the game was probably getting you out. Uh but yeah, it's just me, it's just Gina Marie, and it's just like it's just so funny. And also like whenever she was HOH and would have to make like nomination speeches, people were actively laughing at her while she was trying to give out these speeches because she's just so bad at making these speeches. It's amazing. It's also terrible because she's a terrible person, but it's so fun to laugh at her. Anyway, Mother and Mickey are on the block, and now it's time to vote. Um, So Clark, of course, votes out Mother. Tigger,
Yeah.
of course, votes out Mickey. Jerry gets the deciding vote. And who, who is more of a threat? I think, again, it's like they put up Clark and Mickey because they were such a tight duo. And
Yeah,
if you
and
can't get
so
Clark,
Jerry is not going to vote out Mother because
you got to
that's
get
not
out
helping
Mickey.
their cause.
And again, Mother is, even though Mother did win that one clutch HOH, she is still a bit of, like Tigger, she's a bit of a goat.
Yeah.
All right. So Clark used the veto, and Mickey has been evicted in a 2-1 vote.
So such a shame that from now on there's no longer a chance for Mickey going feral on this
Yeah,
season.
unfortunately, yeah, like oh yeah, it's like the next role wasn't one or anything, so it's like he wouldn't have gone. But I'm also shocked that like nobody's figured out that Clark is Superman.
Yeah, I mean those glasses are doing a really pretty good job at making him look like a regular journalist.
Hmm. All right, so Final five HOH competition is the Old Mill. The house guests have a bunch of gears of many different sizes and a board with pegs for the gears. This is the Old Mill. They must place all the gears on the board such that every gear turns and activates the mill. Fastest wins. It's a simple puzzle. You just place, you have all the gears and you need to put them all in together. Wallace can't compete. We have Mother, Clark, Tigger, and Jerry. This might be Jerry, or it might be
Yeah.
Mother. Like,
How important is speed in this competition?
it's so I imagine it's a bit big, but it's not like the pieces aren't going to be that heavy or anything.
Yeah.
It
The puzzle aspect is the important thing here.
the
So I
puzzle
think
is more important.
yeah, this should be Jerry.
And it is pretty intricate, so it's like if you aren't great at these puzzles, it's like Jerry is probably his intellectual advantage is going to outweigh his physical disadvantage.
Yeah.
So I think Jerry wins. And
He definitely
again,
puts up Clark, but he's putting up Tigger or Mother against him. That's the question.
and I think with the fact that Mother did so well in that HOH competition, that might be the thing that puts her over the edge as the other nominee.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just write down Jerry won HOH, nominated Clark and Mother. All right. The the veto competition is beautiful men. The house guests are shown pictures of bald men. However, their faces are mashups of multiple house guests. You have to identify which house guests are featured in the pictures. Fastest time wins. So this is a lot more personal, a lot more detail oriented in terms of just like knowing like what facial features belong to like different former house guests. Yes, and so it's like who is the most personable? Who's gonna be best at facial recognition? And I think that's Mother.
It must be Mother, yes.
She is unexpectedly coming out as a comp piece at the end of this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like what her third competition win at this late? Maybe just second. But still, like she's been doing well in the other competitions as well. But yeah, Mother wins, and then Jerry, with no other options, puts up Tigger. And
Yeah.
then Wallace is gonna actually Mother is gonna
Mother's gonna vote Clark.
vote Clark. Uh, and so yeah, I think they all have to vote Clark. Clark's won a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Even although they don't know he's Superman, I think it's easier to vote out Clark and keep Tigger around.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Clark is evicted in a 2-0 vote. We are down to the final four.
And nobody knows he's Superman.
Nobody's figured out he's Superman, and nobody figured out that Mickey has a demon lurking inside him. Um, but yeah, 1 second. All right, final four HOH competition, the Sand Castle. The house guests are faced with the massive sand pit. They must dig through the sand pit to find three cards, one that says head, one that says of, and one that says household. First one to find all three wins. This is just digging. It's a,
Yeah.
and
I
I think
mean,
Wallace has an easy win here.
I could see just Tigger winning this through boundless energy.
He's not a digger though. Tigger doesn't dig. The Tig don't dig.
If you say so,
He
okay.
he goes up, not down. He can't stay down to dig.
Okay, sure. Then let's give it to Wallace.
We'll give it to Wallace. And of course, Mother and Tigger are immediately put up on the block. However, for the final four, what's more important is the veto. So yeah, write down Wallace one's HOH. And then the veto competition is screenplay. The house guests have a large assortment of sliding screens with faces of two evicted house guests on them. There is a sliding track for the screens, and along it is different facts that will only apply to two house guests. Quickest to place all the slides on the track in the correct order wins. Now, this is about retention of like information about the season, but it's also there is a bit of a physical element to it because you have to pick up all these screens, sort through them, and then slide them in the correct order. And it's like if you get one wrong in there, you have to remove all of them in order to put things in the right order. It's like it's so despite Jerry probably having the best knowledge of this, he's gonna be at a heavy disadvantage in terms of the physical element.
Well, and Wallace and Tigger are both going to be useless at this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Wallace is a bit absent-minded for things like this. So Mother wins the veto?
I mean, it's either Mother or Jerry.
I think I think it's Mother. I think like
Okay.
older contestants with these kind of competitions, even if they know it, it's like it's going to be a struggle to move all these things around. So I think Mother does win it. And Jerry is the only person left to go up on the block. And with Mother being the sole vote to evict, she evicts Jerry.
What a shock.
What? And it's like, I imagine Jerry was like this, like people were rooting for this old guy to make it to the very
Yeah.
end. Like he was not only like, he was keeping a low profile, but he was still pulling the strings. But it's like,
Yeah. And let's not forget that our version of Big Brother is very friendly to old guys.
mhm. Especially when you're competing against people like Tigger.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Um, oh yeah, and also of course we had Mr. fucking Magoo in last season.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I meant.
Okay. Anyway, now we're down to the final HOH three-part competition. First part is Aquamania. The final three house guests are standing on water skis and holding on to the water ski rope. They're constantly getting pelted by water, swung side to side, and must hold on for dear life. Longest to hold on wins. Instinct, Wallace wins.
Yes. Same.
Okay. Okay. Easy peasy. Uh, so he moves on to the final part. Meanwhile, Mother and Tigger will compete in part two. Gopher broke. Every former house guest is represented by a gopher in a hole that can be moved up or down. There will be a series of questions that could apply to as many as all of the house guests or as few as none of them. And the two competitors will have to pull up or push down all the house guests that apply for each question and buzz in their answer. They will only see the next question after they get the first one correct, and so on and so forth. Fastest to answer all the questions correctly wins. Mother wins. Easy peasy.
Obviously.
Obviously. Oh, Tigger. You were doing so well. You were the Jamaica daddy.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened, baby?
Yeah.
Anyway, um, part three, the game. Two house guests are given a question that was asked to a juror and must choose between two responses that the juror might have given. There are six questions. Most questions correct wins, with a potential tiebreaker if needed. And now, this might sound like something that would be about like how well you know the different house guests. But one, I think Wallace and Mother are probably pretty evenly matched. I think they're both pretty good socially, like they know their fellow competitors well enough. But also in practice with the real show, this ends up random. Like the questions are so like they're things that would go either way depending on like they're two options that both seem likely as to what the person would have said. And so it does end up just kind of random most of the time. And so I am going to flip a coin six times. Head, actually, no, going to flip two coins six times. And then I will say who gets each question correct. There will be six questions total, and we'll see who wins. Question one, they both get it wrong. Question two, they both get it wrong again. Question three, Wallace gets it right. Question four, they both get it wrong. Question five, Mother gets it right. Question six, they both get it right. It's usually they usually do better than this when it's just coin flipping, but I guess we have to go to the tiebreaker, which is similar to the one I did earlier. You roll two d20s, and whichever one gets it closest to 15 without going over, wins. First roll. I feel bad that I'm putting so much random in here, but at the same time, it's like it's just how it goes. It's just how
Yeah.
it needs to go. Uh, because if you want to, it's I think it's fun this way. You might not. Anyway, for the first tiebreaker question, they had the same answers. We have to roll again. For the second tiebreaker question, Wallace has gone over and Mother went under, so that means Mother wins the final head of household. And between, and so she gets to choose who the final juror will be, and that, and she has no choice but to evict Wallace. She needs
Yeah.
to bring her buddy Tigger, who's been with her for as long as she can remember in this game.
Yes.
All right. And now the final two between Mother and Tigger will go one by one with each of these jurors. And I have a feeling I know who's going to win, but we will play it out. So, first juror is Zonker. Zonker, I think Zonker votes for Tigger.
Oh, yeah. Zonka votes Tigger.
Second juror is John Lennon. John, I think, is more strategically minded, and I think he's even though neither of them were the biggest strategic players in their season or in this game, at the very least, Mother was out there like winning these necessary competitions that she needed to win to stay in the game. And it's like she
Yeah.
really made a name for herself at the very end here. Maggie
Maggie votes Tigger.
Maggie votes Ticker, even though she is a more strategically minded person, she is going to kind of she's also sentimental. She
Yeah.
was bonded with Tigger immediately. So I think she goes towards Tigger. Juror number four is Squiggle.
Squiggle likes the chaos of Tigger.
Oh my God, are we getting another Magoo?
We might.
Toilet
But let's
Man.
see where it continues. I think Toilet Man votes for Mother.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Um, Mickey.
I
I
mean, that's the Disney character
let
alliance.
We'll save Mickey for the end. I don't want to. That's one where I think it might be a bit up in the air, so I'll leave him for later.
Yeah,
Um, Clark,
mother.
mother, definitely. He's a mama's boy. Yes. Clark votes for mother. Jerry votes for mother.
Yes.
Wallace. Oh God, Mickey and Wallace are deciding this. It's
Yeah.
currently 4-3 for mother. So if both of them vote Tigger, Tigger wins. But if either one of them votes mother, she wins. Or if both of them vote for mother. I think God, Mickey's a sentimental fool. He's gonna vote Tigger.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Wallace
I
has the
don't know.
whole world in his hands here.
Yeah. And I'm leaning towards Tigger.
Oh my God, I don't want Tigger to win. Uh, but it makes sense. Tigger.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And I mean, we have a history of the least strategic player winning, and it,
Oh
yeah.
my God, in a 5-4 vote, Tigger is the winner of Big Brother Animated Short 2. And also, for one final note, who do you think was America's favorite player or the podcast's favorite player here? Part of me's feeling Jerry. Part of
Yeah.
me, I think we like the old guy here. I think Jerry wins that.
Yes. Yeah. Jerry
And
Jerry is fan favorite.
Jerry's the fan favorite. Oh my
It
God.
it it could have been Zonka, but I think
Zonker
Zonka
was just
maybe,
evicted too early.
yeah, it
Like
was a bit too early.
he didn't get much of a chance to make that much of an impact. But oh my God, what I
What
yeah.
have we done yet again?
So so of course not as dramatic as our first time, but it's hard to live up
No,
to
no,
that.
no. I mean, the Jerry meltdown is hard to replicate.
But God, what a this was still a fun season. And I think
And to listeners, I just said Jerry as in Tom and Jerry, not as in our Jerry from this game.
like we told you to listen to the last episode first. You should have
Yeah.
done that. Uh, anyway, this was still fun, and I'm definitely going to come back to do this next year. However, I do have a little bit of a twist in mind. It won't actually, I think I might still keep it from uh Oscar nominated animated shorts, but I do have we'll call it a theme in mind.
Okay.
All right. Any final words, Christoph, before I end the episode? It is 1:34 a.m. for me, by the way.
I
Oh
don't
my,
know. What do you think?
shut up. Oh my God. Bye, everybody.
Bye.